Would you like to play City Skylines without getting buried in traffic? Or do you like getting buried in traffic and maybe you'd like to build a continuous flow intersection? That's what you're looking at right here. Welcome everyone to the stream. Hopefully everybody's getting this so far. Let me know how the sound and all that fun stuff is. This is in a city. This is actually video of a city in my in another city I made called Portopolis. It's a pretty cool city. I'll have to show it to you sometime. But it uses a whole other set of mods and assets. So I just made this video so I could load Puerto del Mar here for everybody. But basically, the idea behind a continuous flow intersection is that it separates the left turns before you get to the intersection. So right here, we've got our left turns going, and they get to go at the same time as the straight throughs because they're already separated out of the line of traffic. This road here does not have its left turn separated, but it does have its right turn separated, which makes it a lot safer for pedestrians. We don't really have any in this particular neighborhood, but this is this does work pretty well for pedestrians if we have any, although it is crazy amounts of traffic. So over here you can see there's a queue waiting to get going left turns. This will stop. These guys will get to go. And while these guys are going, then these left turns will start moving in. Now, sadly, oh, hey, it worked that time. Sadly, this seems to be leaking. I don't know why, but TMPE will allow traffic to leak through sometimes. It's kind of annoying. I thought I had this thing working perfectly yesterday, but maybe it wasn't as perfect as I thought. But this is what we're going to do in Puerto del Mar at the intersection of Market Avenue and Portland Boulevard. Except we're going to do it in an urban environment. This is decidedly outside of an urban area. There's a suburb right over here, and there's a train station on the other side of the street, which is a really lousy place for it. But hey, you know, you're retrofitting a neighborhood. Sometimes you get what you get. So anyway, that's what we're going to do. It's going to be really fun. We're going to have a lot of fun doing this. So now let's get over to City Skylines. Here's the intersection in question. Right here at Portland Boulevard and Market Street. We have two sets of left turns. I actually have this one working. This is when you do a continuous flow, although it's in an urban area instead of an area like we saw in the other in Portopolis, then it's actually called a quadrant intersection. And this isn't a perfect one. You can just do two quadrants. Like if we wanted to, really mark it as probably the busier of the two, although it's really hard to say. We could separate left turns here and here. Oh, I'm sorry. I think I have that backwards. Yeah, we'd separate them here, and we would separate them over here coming from the other direction. But we're going to separate the left turns for Portland Boulevard too. This is actually not probably as busy of an intersection. And I thought there were a lot of pedestrians in this neighborhood, but it sort of looks like they've all disappeared, and I don't know where they went or why they've gone away, but we're hopefully going to breathe some life into this neighborhood as we redevelop it a little bit, make it a little bit of an entertainment district, I think is what we're going to do. Now, the other reason why I really don't want to have left turns at this intersection is because of the streetcars. The streetcars get so jammed up by left turns because they want to go at the same time, and you really want the streetcars to be able to keep moving because they're moving a lot more people than your cars and trucks are. And thankfully, we don't see a lot of private cars, which is great. So this intersection here, we've banned all rights and lefts, except for right here. We're able to make a right turn because, as you can see, there is no way to build a quadrant on that side because there's water in the way. Otherwise, I'd build a full quadrant intersection on all four sides. So basically, it's the same as the continuous flow intersection. You'll see left turns will come along, and that's a dedicated left turn lane. Biffa would be very proud. That dedicated left turn lane will take you over there. Now, since we don't have a quadrant over here, I believe I made it so that a right turn could be made and we get back onto that street. I don't think that that's really what's necessary here. I think the bigger problem is we don't have a way to separate left turns here. So it's important that they be able to, this is really familiar to you if you're from Detroit, if you're from Michigan. People who want to make a left turn onto Market from the port, they would take a right and then take a left and then go straight through from this intersection right here, which it'll be a lot easier for me to identify the names of the streets and for you guys to know what I'm talking about if I turn my street names back on, won't it? All right. There we go. Crust. Well, that should be Stern Street. I guess I didn't neatify everything like I thought. And I did neatify this. Okay, so we're going to go over the time traffic light for this really quick here, because that's the main thing I wanted to show you. Now, this time traffic light actually has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 nodes. The only part that really applies to the quadrant are these two, and then, of course, the one in the center. And you'll notice that TMPE will actually create priority. It'll create separate lights for the streetcars, for the trams, if there happens to be dedicated right-of-way. It'll do the same thing for buses if you have dedicated bus right-of-way. If you have both buses and trams on the same street, you will actually, I think, get 3 separate signals for each. So keep that in mind if you're using TMPE. This is actually going to be way easier than setting up like a single point urban interchange or a, well, it's not easier necessarily. It's easier to see the lights, I should say, than it is if you're doing something where the lights are all jammed and close together. Since these are all at least probably 12 units apart, makes it a lot simpler. Okay, so just to give you an idea, this is interesting here because left turns are not allowed at the time that the straight throughs are going along on these intersections here. We don't have as much conflicting traffic there, so I felt comfortable allowing all that to go. Now notice that left turns get to go, then they're stopped, and then trams get to go. We don't want people trying to turn left in front of the tram. That would be bad. Because those are huge, and they aren't going to stop on a dime. They probably have great brakes, though, because they do run through urban areas. So keep that in mind when you're building these things. If you got tram lines on them, that's the #1 reason why I really wanted to do this in the first place. Because as you remember, we did have, before we put the streetcars in, which in the US that's what they call trams most of the time, we did have left turn lanes here. And we probably could put them in, but it's just going to make the traffic light cycle so much longer. One of the beautiful things about a quadrant or quadrant or continuous flow intersection is that while the timings are a little complicated, they're very short. You can get a lot of traffic through the intersection, very orderly and very quick, which makes it not only better for auto traffic to get through and for trams, but it also makes it great for pedestrians, because if you're waiting a short period of time to cross the street, you're happy. And if you don't have to worry about somebody turning who can't see you very well, running you over, you're even happier. So it does leave a signalized intersection in these two spots if you're walking down Market Avenue, but chances are good that it's going to be okay because it's not as much traffic at these intersections as there would be if we had one ginormous intersection. There's a little less going on at these places. And as you can see, traffic is flowing quite nicely. Now, as for the timings here, I was thinking about, I'd like you guys to weigh in on this. Do you want me to go over in detail the whole timing? Because I could just delete the timing and go through all of it top to bottom on the stream here today. I'm prepared to do that this week more than I was last week. So let me know what you think in the chat here. Okay, so but for right now, let me just show you what we've got going on first. All right, so if you're on Market Avenue, right now everything is stopped, but what happens first is lefts and straights get to go through, and then the straights turn green, and then over here you'll see straights turn green there too. The same exact thing is happening on both ends here. Now, eventually, lefts get stopped, and then eventually everything gets stopped at the intersection, and then the crossroads get to go. All three crossroads. And that allows everything to move through nice and smooth. And then the lefts go, and then the straights get to go about the time the lefts show up. And then by the time they get over here, they get to go through here. So it's really, 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 really super duper cool to do this. Now the same thing is happening over here on Portland Boulevard. Right here, the lefts, well, we don't have lefts there. The lefts have already ended there. Now I've got a little special circumstance here because I have a streetcar turnaround. I'll show you what I did there in a second. But basically, the straight throughs, we have a shorter cycle, I think, on Portland. It just doesn't need to run as long. Over here, crossroads are going. Crossroads are going. The streetcar has a red light right there. And now we're going to have the lefts go, but we're not going to let the streetcars go yet. Then straight throughs go. And then eventually this one will turn red and these will stay green. And there you go. And that allows that intersection to clear out in both directions. Now over here with the streetcar turnaround, I had to do something fun because we don't want streetcars to just cross over in front of traffic whenever they feel like it willy-nilly. So I have a special cycle, or actually I think there's a couple of special cycles in here that allow traffic to allow the streetcars to go through. Like right there, you see they're both waiting, and traffic's able to go through on Port Drive right here. Now the streetcars get to go, and now the left turns get to come off of here, and the right turns that are sailing right on Stearns over to Market Avenue get to go. So that's really cool. That really helps move things along without causing too much trouble with the traffic. And as you can see, it's really efficient for our streetcars, which is really important. Now that's a bummer right there that they're blocking the intersection, but hey, we don't have left turns, so we can get away with that. And that also allows us to put that streetcar stop right next to the intersection, which makes it really convenient. It's just really sad that nobody seems to care anymore. They're not really using that stop because we built a stop over here next to the port, so people aren't having to walk all the way to Market Avenue like they did before. Yeah, we're going to build an entertainment district over here to incentivize them moving along through there at some point here soon. Okay, so now another thing that I wanted to make sure you were aware of here is since this is an urban area, we've got intersections right here. We could reconfigure this so that we have really free-flowing traffic and just have a stop sign right there. But instead of changing the grid, I just left everything alone. This is what makes these intersections really cool in real life, is you don't have to do a whole lot but change a few signs and paint and, of course, time the traffic lights right. Because you don't have to widen roads or anything because you're already using existing infrastructure. So I added a turn lane here, so we have a dedicated right turn lane coming out of the quadrant. We have that in each circumstance, I believe. Dedicated right turns. Yes, right turn there. And then coming from the other direction, we have dedicated lefts. Except for right here, I don't think I have a dedicated left because it's just not busy enough to require it. Mainly because if you're coming from Market Avenue and you want to turn left, you're probably not going to want to turn left to get over to Portland Boulevard. It's just not a movement that's really very frequently needed. So we were able to get away without widening that street. Now what we did do is we put dedicated left turns here. I made that a priority road. I made everything oncoming have to stop so that all this traffic can go through safely and not have to worry too much. There are pedestrians. They will have to be careful about those. And then I put a yield there so that right turn traffic can just go right on through, or it can go straight as long as it's not conflicting with everything on Stern Street. I did the same thing over here. This is a little easier because it's a three-way intersection. And over here is another three-way intersection. So I didn't have to, well, actually, there's no intersection at all over here, so we don't have to worry about that. Now, we do have one busy street. Turney Street right here is actually pretty heavily traveled. And that's because we've got our peninsula neighborhood, Peninsula Bosque. We've got all this neighborhood over here, and it wants to go to work over here in Portland. And so Turney Street gets backed up, but not too bad. It all clears with a light. I made sure the cycle was long enough to accommodate that. So if they want to go down Market, they just hang a right. They can turn left to go Market to downtown, although it's not very likely they're going to want to turn left there because they can just take this street here, which has a bus line on it, Avenida Peninsula, all the way over here to Bosque Park, and then they can take Bosque Cove Drive, or they can cut over to Bosque Avenue, go around Bosque Park, and get into Campos del Mar. So a little bit of traffic design there going on. All right, so once I put in this quadrant setup here, I created some problems for myself that I had to solve by adding more intersections this time, traffic light. So I just checked and made sure, first off, that our streetcars can get through really easily. I wanted to pay particular attention to that because the last thing you want to have happen is for your rapid transit, your mass transit, to get stuck and hung up. Now, I think we're going to have to add some intersections to this. I also changed some of the restrictions here. Let me just show you what I did. We had some vehicle restrictions on this road here. Originally, I started banning trucks, and there's still a ban on trucks on Mission Avenue. I don't want them cutting into downtown on Mission because they could and they would if I let them. We don't have enough traffic on Market Avenue to really want that to be less congested. So I made sure that Mission was not an alternate, at least not for the trucks. So if you're driving a car, Mission might be a little faster for you some days, although there's not really that many more lights. And there's probably more stops. Yeah, a few stops. Now, I did allow trucks to go through on Hancock Street. I think I gave this road a name. Yeah, Hancock Parkway is what I called it. So our new road that we built in the last episode, I took that and we have this road here extending all the way down to Market, and it goes all the way to Bosque Avenue, and it makes for a nice little shortcut into downtown, as you can see, or to the waterfront. It's not super busy. But it looks like I could probably reconfigure some of those stop signs and make it a little easier. I put a traffic signal here, so it is a signalized intersection, makes it a little safer for the pedestrians crossing through there too, since we don't have very many traffic lights. Another thing that I did is I made it so that Mission Avenue has to stop instead of these cross streets. Now, Houck Street is another one that's really busy. I think originally before I redid all this traffic control stuff, this street was only allowed to turn right, and I don't know if I even did anything with this street, but since we've reconfigured all of this, and I had to put a light here just because this is backing up so bad, they couldn't pull out into traffic. There's just too much of it at the time. So I made it so that we have dedicated left turn lane right here. As you can see, that seems to be enough, and it goes when the streetcar isn't, and is stopped when the streetcar is, and it allows this traffic not only to turn right but also to go straight over to Market, which saves us herding traffic and having another left turn here at Hancock Street. So sometimes you have to sacrifice, and that's why we're going to redevelop this neighborhood. We're sacrificing this residential area, and we're going to build in some commercial, and I think we're actually going to turn that into leisure or tourism. Because it's right over here by the port. I mean, we might as well, right? It's a good place for it. It's near the water. It's also near all the industrial stuff. So it'll probably be a leisure district. Just be a fun place to go hang out after work, or after you come in off the boat, or before you go on off the boat. So what we've done here is we allow this cross traffic on Hancock to clear through. I have a dedicated right turn lane here because I've got 3 lanes, and I only have one going straight through. I put another dedicated left turn here and made it so that it doesn't go when the streetcar does. It's great because the streetcars are on dedicated right-of-way. They stop, but traffic doesn't, unless it's another streetcar. So this moves really well through here, except for we have one problem. The pedestrians, there's tons of them. They're everywhere. So what can we do about this? Because obviously this is a problem. We do have a couple of tram stops right in through here. I think we've got one. Is that where another one is? Yeah, I mean, even the trams are having to slow down from all the pedestrians. So what we're going to do, well, first off, let me check. What I'd like to do, and I'm going to check to see what you guys have, because we can build this all up from scratch in the comments if you'd like, once I check out the chat here. But right before I go check out the chat is right here at Sneller Street. It looks like we could probably add a light here, if for no other reason, just to allow the pedestrians to control them so that they're not always crossing, and to make it so that the cars can get through and the trams and everything without running anybody over. So let's check out the comments here. I'm going to kick this into cinematic mode here. Whoops. Oh, I forgot to load that. All right. Let's see what we have here. I said a lot of my hellos. Oh, wow. Busy chat today. Hello, fellow Buckeye, Russell White. Glad to have you on from Mansfield, Ohio. I'm in Cleveland. Let's see here. Happy to have you guys on time. Good afternoon. Finally made one of the streams. Greeting from Indiana, neighbor. Hey, you gotta love the Midwest. Salutations from Massachusetts, a silly place. I don't know what makes it so silly, but I suppose, I don't know. I suppose it must be. Greetings from New York. Glad to have you. Let's see here. Anyone having traffic issues at a population of 23,000? That's usually where it gets to happening. That's when it starts to get interesting. Yeah, that's right. And SimCity, I would say it was probably about 30,000, but in city skylines, it can happen even as early as 10 or 15 in some cases. We're going to see that happen a little bit in the next two episodes of More Money, Less Traffic. I have had a lot of people ask me about when the next episode's coming out. I can't say for sure. I've just started getting the research done. I think I've got the next couple, well, 3 episodes only honestly mapped out. Got to write them and got to record them. So once we get that done, then we'll be good to go. I probably should have slowed this down before I started it. Oh, well. But the next 2 episodes are going to be all about traffic. And then the third one is going to be about rail. We'll bring some freight trains in. Probably some passengers, too. Let's see. What else we got going on here? 4-lane to a 6-lane. Yeah, sometimes upgrading roads helps. Sometimes it doesn't. So definitely don't think that widening the roads are always the answer. Sometimes making the roads not wide is a better answer. Grids are pretty good at spreading stuff out. Alternate direct routes. Diffuse traffic. Very good. Llama botherer. Yeah. I actually have a video about massive industrial areas. A couple of them. It's my Let's Fix Traffic series, or should I say, Let's Fix Traffic. So check that out. What was it? Las Vegas was the name of the city. So check that out, especially the one where I do the big neighborhood rebuild. There's probably some parts that are totally skippable in there, but definitely go to the part where I'm showing off what we did differently. There's also a great video about stack interchanges, that, where I build the stack interchanges, and then I explained some of the things I did with the freeway to make it so that traffic wouldn't bottleneck too bad. It's very heavy traffic, but it does move, and it uses timed traffic lights and other fun stuff. So yeah, you'd probably want mods, but the design, yeah, it'd probably really be tough to do in vanilla. We'll see some good vanilla designs in the More Money, Less Traffic series in the next 2 or 3 videos, especially. All right, so let's see here. Oh, hey, another thing. I'm going to be posting a Discord link. I'm going to start the Discord channel off. I'm going to get you folks in here with a live stream. I'm going to post that to the description of the video, and I'm going to post it in a, what's it called? A community post. Yes. So go to my channel, check communities. By the way, I really appreciate you guys. I hope you guys got a chance to take part in the poll. I wondered if everybody thought that Discord would be better or Reddit would be better. It looks like Discord is a clear winner here, which I'm happy about. I've never used it until recently. But a shout out to Phil from A City Planner Plays City Builders. He turned me on to Discord, and I'm going to open up my own Discord server here so that everybody can go check that out. If you're looking for it, you're going to have to find it. I think there's no way for me to really list it publicly until we get enough people interested, which, by the way, if you could spare a like, I'd really appreciate it. I see there's about 60 some of you on there, and I only have like 23 likes. So if you can give me a like, I'd really appreciate it. It really helps grow the stream, grow the channel, and get more people in here. The algorithm can be really nice to you sometimes when your channel explodes, and then sometimes it's kind of like you're limping along, and you'll take everything you can get. Those likes and comments sure do help. I really appreciate it. And I love having you guys here. So the more the merrier. Yes, and it's also important to build your industry outside on the edge of town, just so you know. So build it next to your highway or rail lines, or you will probably have trouble. Now I'm running out of cinematic here, and I haven't even caught up on the chat yet. Let's make that run a little longer. And I'll check out the rest of the chat. Yeah, good advice going on here. I like some of you guys know what you're doing with the traffic. Yeah, and do it. Yeah, I mean, you can do it on the inside of the city, but your industrial zones, it's good advice to build little blocks of industrial, mainly just because it spreads out the truck traffic. But you want to make sure that that pollution that they create doesn't get into your residential areas, or you will have sick Sims and unhappy Sims. They don't like living near pollution. Don't want to have traffic layout. Eliminate traffic lights. Use that routes tool. If you have TMPE, you can use that, and that will allow you to turn off traffic lights really super quick. Otherwise, I think you have to do it by hand. It's kind of annoying when you start doing big roads. In vanilla. Yeah. Always make sure. And the other thing, too, is see if you can make it so that it's walking distance. I know it seems counterintuitive to have residential near industrial, but we've got it right here in Puerto del Mar, right here along Portland Boulevard as we're flying across. And you can see that it's pretty nice to be able to walk to work. Unfortunately, some of those people are going to have to move. We're going to change that neighborhood up. See what else we got going on. A few bus corridors. Oh, by the way, somebody asked the question, is it even possible to have a city larger than, say, 50,000 or so with traffic much better than 70%? I think I had pretty good traffic flow in the More Money, Less Traffic series, which was called Demoville, if I remember right. In this city, yeah, the traffic's actually really good in Puerto del Mar so far, but we're not really that big yet. I think we're getting close to 50,000 Sims. So I don't know. The traffic flow percentage isn't really that high of a rate of a number to use to tell if your traffic's that good or bad. I mean, if it's really, really low, yeah, your traffic's bad. Look for the red and see if, things are moving. If things are moving, then I would be happy. If things are not moving, then you need to fix that. If there's a building backup, definitely do something about that. But Portopolis, the city I showed you, that was actually one of the busier intersections, but it's probably not the busiest intersection in that city. I was looking at that one last night, trying to get ready for the stream, and the traffic is normally hovers around 70, but sometimes I've seen it as low as in the 60s. Now that's with despawning disabled. So I turned despawning off. That's something that vanilla will do, the vanilla game, but TMPE allows you to disable it. And in that city, when I disable the despawning, the traffic still moves, but it gets into the 60s. And that's actually a really functional city. It's got a lot of traffic. It's pretty cool. So I don't know, maybe more money, less traffic is a little bit of a misnomer. It's just less traffic problems. That's what we want to see. Emily Clover, hey, thanks for being here. You've got like the top comment on one of my vids. I can't remember if it was the how to start a city video. But yeah, you've got the top comment. I think I just pinned it too. So go check that out. Piachet, welcome to, I hope I said it right. Welcome to the playoffs. I've built the park. Yeah, there's a park. Oh, which park are you referring to, Waleed? Let me know. I don't like building overpasses in my cities. Yeah, they're practical sometimes, though. I try to not get too crazy with them. Lee, what would you think about making the building's heights in your city a bit more realistic? That's coming. I want to build out a few more neighborhoods, and then I think we're going to just go straight into detailing. This is something that I'm probably going to get into with more money, less traffic. But I think what we're going to do here, because it's getting annoying how much office I have to build just to survive in this town. Right now, I think unemployment is like crazy high in Puerto del Mar. And for whatever reason, you know, I mean, you have to add a ton of office, and it's just unrealistic. So we're probably going to turn on a realistic population, which is going to create all sorts of problems. We're going to come back from that, though. It'll be fine, and balance everything back out, because I don't think things have gotten too crazy just yet. But yeah, we'll get the building heights in our city to be a lot more realistic. Yeah, it's not the way I want it to be at all. So Conscript, I agree. It's one of the flaws, I think, in the vanilla city skylines, but you still can make some pretty cool cities, as you can see. I think this looks pretty nice, but it doesn't look as nice, half as nice as what, you know, you can do if you detail it a little bit. And I'll show you which mods we need and which assets are good to go find, how to go asset shopping, as I like to call it. Let's see here. Yeah. Yes, small cities can be terrible too. Can't wait to write too much in Discord as well in chat. All right. From Quebec, Sebastian. Been watching your videos for a month and I love them. Keep up the good work. Can't wait to watch your next More Money, Less Traffic stuff. I can't wait to make more. I'm so excited to get to the traffic stuff. Hello from the Netherlands. Glad to have you here, Boss Winkle. So I tried to look up the city planning of my home city, and it was harder to research it than when I researched Arizona cities for my fictional Skylines project. Where is your home city? Oh, aren't you in the one in you're in Middle East, aren't you? I forget. At Ferris, my first city had 80,000 sims with traffic at 75%. I'm pretty sure it's pretty good for my traffic. You know, one of the ways that's a really good way, it's almost like a cheat code for traffic, put in good metro system. A good metro system will really cut down on your traffic. And it's great because it doesn't get in the way of any of your other traffic, unless you've got a really lousy design for your metro system. We'll build some of those at some point. Although I'm trying to do the trams nicely right now. Let's see here. I think I'm finally caught up. All right, so it looks like everybody is pretty cool with the explanation on the quadrant intersection. Triangle light rail. Oh, yeah, they're probably trying to figure out the route and then finding out that it's expensive. All right, so, whoops, I hit the wrong button. Hello. There we go. Okay. All right, so everything is working out pretty well traffic-wise. I'm going to take what you guys have said here. This doesn't look like anybody is really dying to see me break down that traffic. So let's just go ahead and change up Sneller Street right here and put in another signal here. Now, since these these traffic lights are really close together, and there's a lot of traffic. I could just turn a light on right there, but I think it's going to really mess up all of my timing. I think it's just going to create a huge traffic jam. It's pretty breathtaking if I don't get this timed right. If I get this timed right, nothing really builds up. This just moves. Everything is functioning really happily. I'm going to turn off the timed traffic light and speed this up for a second. And what will happen is eventually all of this is going to back up. It'll back up all the way to Laguna Boulevard. It's crazy how bad traffic will get. Now, the cool thing is that the quadrant intersection still works. We don't have any left turns or right turns going on right here at this intersection, well, except for that one right turn to Port Drive from Market. But the problem is we're not going to manage. Of course, it's not going to do it now. Oh, wait, no. Here comes the flood. Portland Boulevard is a really busy road. And one of the reasons why it is so crazy busy is because, well, let's zoom out and I'll show you. If we look at this, if you're in the industrial area, you want to ship goods up to La Colina or Liverpool, or even up to Pac Tech or the north ends of downtown, you can't take Mission, and even if you did, it wouldn't help you much. All these streets run due west. Portland is the only one that runs diagonally and runs right straight into that neighborhood, and there's a lot going on up there. So this is the best route to get to a lot of parts of town. I did make it so that Technical Boulevard or Technical Drive or whatever that's called will at least cut you over from this industrial area so that it takes a little heat off of Portland, especially since there is a bypass road that runs around the arena right here. So yeah, that's pretty cool. That makes it so that we don't have all of this traffic trying to smash into Portland as well. And it gives a little bit of relief right here through Aristotle Park for Technical Drive right there. So this parkway here is not in an ideal location, but it will make it a lot easier to get in the waterfront and get downtown once we start doing that. Yeah, of course. I don't understand why this isn't broken. If I let this go long enough, this will back up big time. And I don't know why it's not doing it right now. But I'm just going to turn it back on and be content with it, because I don't want any surprises when I get back to managing that later. All right, so let's see here. Okay, Beersheba, Israel. That's where I thought you were, Conscript. Yeah, that makes sense. Lama Bother, the property speculation would be kind of crazy. Will there be any more? Yes, there will be more Setolagi updates, which is, by the way, for anybody who doesn't speak Italian, that's Seven Lakes in Italian. I just like the way it sounded. I don't speak Italian, but I'm learning. I have another city called Ampia, and I'm not sure if I'm saying that with a very good Italian accent. I call it Ampia in English, but it's Italian for wide. It's on, I think it's on the same map as as Demoville for our first More Money, Less Traffic series, and I called it Ampia. I did a completely different thing with that city. I'll have to show that to you sometime too, because it's built a little bit more Puerto del Mar like than anything else, although it's definitely not Puerto del Mar. So yes, we will get more updates. I'm hoping I can get you something very, very soon. And I'll probably roll out a way to get early access for that too. So I'm hoping next week I'll have a new More Money, Less Traffic for you, but do have some hectic stuff going on in life right now. So dealing with a lot. Let's see here. Monorail is more fun because it's easier to build up and down steep slopes and fun to follow around. I've never really messed with monorail much, but we might do that in the new More Money, Less Traffic series in Setolagi, because there's a road that's perfect for it. I just haven't decided if that's what I want to do, and I don't have to for a while. because our city is still pretty small. No need for monorail. I don't think I have access to it if I wanted to build it right now. Yeah. Yeah, it sort of detracts when the monorail makes a lot of noise, doesn't it? Yeah, I'm doing okay. It's family conscript. I really appreciate you asking. Hopefully I won't have anything big to announce there, but as you all know, there is a health crisis around the world, and some people it strikes closer to home than you'd like to see. I'll leave it at that. Anyway, so let's build more stuff. In fact, let's get some pedestrians into this neighborhood. First, what we're gonna do is I'm gonna create a new district down here that will be a new entertainment district in Portland. I'm gonna start. Whoops! I guess I have to make it big enough first. Oh, it wants to. There we go. Okay. So, that's too far. Oh, now I messed it all up. I gotta start over. Let's just make a big hole right here. Okay. It's gonna call it Primrose Park. I'm gonna change the name in a minute here. Okay, I want it to go at least to Hancock. Might expand it later. And I think this will actually be a fun area to redo at some point, probably. With, yeah, with whatever they call it. With the detailing as well. Yeah, I want that to go up all the way to Hancock Parkway. I think I'm going to take it to Sneller. I don't want it to go into Aristotle Park. All right, we're going to create a district right here. I'll have to round some of this off a little better later. Whoa, that's not what I want. And I'll probably separate this out some more either, so maybe I'll just leave well enough alone and I'll do this off camera. All right, so anyway, we've got a new little neighborhood here. Yeah, I'm open to names. So we've got the Port, we've got Market Avenue. I don't know, we could name it after Houck Street. I don't know, we'll call it the... Well, maybe we'll name it. Yeah, I don't know. Let's just call it the... we'll call it the Mission District for now. I don't know if I like that name. It's sort of a little too close to home for San Francisco. It sort of knocks that name off completely. I'd sort of like to have a name for maybe this whole neighborhood here because, let's see here, what do I have for districts anyway? Yeah, I mean, Portland is more over here. I don't know. I haven't decided what I want to do with that. Over here I've got a neighborhood called Peninsula Bosque, and we've got Bosque Harbor. So maybe we'll call it something. I don't know. If you guys come up with some good names, I'm all ears. Just to give you some ideas here, we've got Olive Avenue and Mission Avenue and Natoma Street. Is that it? Natoma? Yeah. And Howard Avenue. Some of you are familiar with the West Coast. Some of these are street names that I knocked off from San Francisco and Los Angeles just because, you know, it's sort of the inspiration for some of this. Although San Francisco and Los Angeles are very much not alike in a lot of ways. I just wanted to make it a West Coast theme. All right, so one other thing we need to do is we need to change our commercial specialization here. We want to go with leisure. And, of course, it's the end of an academic year. Okay, so we'll make the Mission District a leisure commercial district. Now, that's going to take away... Since we just changed all that, all of our standard commercial buildings are now getting knocked out and they will be rebuilding with leisure buildings. Now, one of the things about leisure is that it is really sort of lousy for residents because it tends to create a lot of noise. So first off, I don't really want to have a whole lot of I don't really want to have a lot of busy development along Hancock Street. I really want people to come in and maybe just work on Hancock. So I'm going to zone that as office, which, by the way, the reason why I'm doing that is because my unemployment is really super high. So we need to develop more office and commercial in here anyway. So first thing I'm going to do is dezone all this residential through here. Those people have to move. And I'm going to dezone this too. I don't want to do too crazy with the dezoning because then I end up losing electricity somewhere. I don't want to lose it. All right, so I'm going to build office along here and here, and I'm going to do it along this street too, along Hancock. So those will all be offices. They won't get into anybody's way. We'll have a little bit of an office park. At some point, this road might get widened. So if we get skyscrapers in here, they're just gonna have to go away. We're gonna get rid of those anyway because I don't really want skyscrapers out here. In fact, that's another thing I'm gonna do. I really don't want them in the Mission District or in Portland, so I'm gonna go to policies. This is a cool little thing you can do. It'll help eliminate high rises somewhat. It basically restricts them from reaching level 5 or level 3 for offices. So you get level 2 and level 2 offices, level 4 residential, but you won't get anything bigger than that. Sadly, that's still a rather big building. These are level 1 and they're huge. Yeah, it's just the way it goes when you're vanilla. I will definitely be addressing that, so don't worry. I'll show you how to make this look a lot prettier. Sometimes it's nice to have a before and after shot though. So, okay, so Hancock Parkway. Let's make sure that we don't have anything but offices before we get to Houck Street, because if we have anything else, I'm afraid it will cause traffic to back up because of the deliveries, and we don't really want that. So this is all turned into leisure. Now let's turn more of it into leisure. On Houck Street, I sort of like the idea of having more leisure development. There's already a lot of trucks going through there anyway, a lot of delivery trucks. Hopefully it won't get too overwhelming, but we'll go ahead and zone that all commercial. And we'll do the same through most of this actually. So maybe we should just call this the Houck Entertainment District. I don't know. No idea. Still not sure what I want to call this neighborhood. All right, so if you remember, this used to be where our streetcar all converged right over here at Battelle and Mission and Turney, where they all met. That's different now. Okay, so now I probably don't want a whole lot of commercial going on Battelle or Turney. So probably a good idea to put more offices through here instead of commercial, because that will allow this traffic to continue moving through, and then I won't have left turns getting backed up when I don't want them backed up. And then strangely enough, it looks like Portland Boulevard does not have a whole lot of things going on it. So why don't we make it commercial on the west side? Except that at this intersection, we're going to make this, and we're going to zone small here. This is a way we can keep more realistic building heights, is if we force the simulator to use, well, it looks like the upgrade actually made a smaller building over there in that office area. Okay, so we're going to force these to be smaller buildings by only zoning for a small building. Oh boy, that's getting really backed up. I don't know what the deal is with that. Well, we might have more traffic problems to solve here soon. Might have to put some more traffic lights in. That might have to solve that problem. office there, and then offices down here. Either that or we could maybe solve it with the bus line. I'm not really sure. We're definitely having problems on mission. I don't really know what the problem is. I have to watch this a little bit here. See if we can identify the issue. One way we can do that is with the routes info view. So if I click on this, this is less useful than I wish it was. I wish I could just set one direction. Now, I can't really even tell what the story is here. I don't know if this is going to clear out or not. It's really hard to say. It doesn't look like it's getting longer. This might just clear on its own. It looks like it will clear on its own. It's probably just Sims that have gotten displaced and they're like getting in their pocket cars and driving away. It's possible. Now we do have good streetcar access. There's, you know, tram stop there, one here, and I think there's one over here somewhere too. Let's see. There's a stop. Oh, I guess there's not a stop. There's a stop right there. Okay, that's a little far. Probably further than I'd like. I guess we'll find out if this is going to clear or not pretty soon. It looks like it probably will. We'll just let it roll. I don't want to panic. All right, so the Mission District now has all this nice development, and now next to these offices, you've got some nice, you know, the residential is next to these nice offices instead of this commercial area here. So that'll probably be good. I think this will clear out. We just need to leave it a little more time. And we've made it so that these corridors here do not have overwhelming amounts of stuff. Okay, so now probably would like to extend that district over here too. Maybe this will be more aligned with the port. Maybe I should just have this be the new Portland. We're going to extend that district down here so that we can pick up Stern Street. And then we're going to put some stuff on that street too. And since Stern Street isn't super duper busy, let's put some leisure stuff along here. And I'll probably regret that later, but we'll see. Maybe I should have put it over here on these streets, since Market and everything isn't quite as busy. Okay, that should work. Yeah, I'm going to change that. It's going to be office. Let's just make those offices on Stearns. It'll be a good place to jump off with the trams. And it makes sense that there'd be offices over here by the port. Maybe some of the businesses that do, you know, a lot of business over here by the port will need it. Oh, that's getting worse. Oh, no. All right, so what's our problem here? Well, let's see if we can change up. Well, actually, no, let's... All right, so now there used to be a mod, and I have to try and see if I can get this to work sometime again. But there was a mod that was, excuse me, super cool. Let me get this to pop up with the right information here. Okay, I guess there's a lot of people going everywhere to get on here. I don't care about pedestrians or cyclists right now. So we've got a lot of public transport vehicles going through here. Really? Huh. Well, I don't see those. Oh, okay. Those are city service vehicles. Okay, that makes more sense. All right, so we don't have public transport going through there. We do have a lot of private vehicles. Why are there so many private vehicles? Probably tourists, if I had to guess. Oh, man. Well, this was a better idea on paper. All right, so let's try reducing some of this. Put offices there. And we're going to put... Oh, man, this is really bad. Let's put offices on this end of Hauk. Oh, except let's make them make sure... Let's make sure they don't get too big. All right, and we're going to make that all office 2. And hopefully some of this will clear, but this is just getting into really bad gridlock territory right here. This is the stuff that we don't want to have happen. And it can't get out of here. Now, why is everything stopped at Sneller? I didn't think I put a traffic light in there, or did I turn off my time traffic light? Oh, that's stop signs there. Oh man, it's just because of the pedestrians, looks like. Well, that's not going to work. Unless that's just a... Okay, that's better. Nope, it's the pedestrians. All right, so we have to deal with this before we deal with anything else. So we're going to add another intersection to this. Let's slow the clock down so this doesn't get any worse than it already is. All right, stop and add a junction to this traffic light. And I'm going to add the next 2 because they both have really bad traffic. All right, so here's my First off, with time traffic lights, I don't know if anybody ever watches my stuff who happens to work on the TMPE, but if you do, boy, it would sure be great if these menus would just stay away from the rest of the UI so we don't bump into them. All right, so first off, we have green lights. Let's find the left turn phase here. Okay, that's when left turns start. All right, so we want to make sure that everything is going through to get to the left turns here. And in that case, we want this direction to be able to go. I think we want that direction to go too. All right, so it's also safe to say that we're going to want the phase before the left turns to go, I think. At least over here at Parker Street. All right, so right there, we're going to want this. We'll let that one go, and we will leave this one green. And then make that green at Sneller and this green at Parker. Okay, so where are we now? All right, left turn start there. Edit that. I really feel like it's gridlocking because this neighborhood is just not letting anybody out. You can get in, but you can't get out. These are not going to be the most pedestrian-friendly intersections either, which could be trouble. Okay. And we want that to go. And we want this to go. And we want this to go. And keep going. There's a lot of cycles, just have to work through them. All right, so how far back? Okay, I think this first cycle should be everything going across there too. All right, let's start it and see how it goes. Let's start the clock, get the clock going a little faster here. See if this makes any difference at all. Hopefully it will. It does seem to be moving a little better. It also looks like I'm going to have to explicitly ban the pedestrians crossing the street because TMPE isn't doing it for me. So I don't want that to be automatic. I'll zoom in a little closer so you can see what I'm doing. Oh wait, I want those to go. I don't want those to go. Go, go, don't go. Go. Good. Don't go. And you go. All right, now in this case, I want those not to go. And those to go. It's almost a little bit like, I hate to knock off Biffa, but it's almost like a Hugo there, but not quite as much fun as it. These time traffic lights can get they can get very complicated. All right, don't want them going, and you can set them up wrong, and the next thing you know, you've got people waiting, and you just can't figure out why everything is such a mess. So all I'm doing is I'm taking these off of manual and making sure that they tell pedestrians to go when I want them to. And this is unfortunately going to require me doing the same thing on the other intersection too. Wow. If you click on them just right, it saves you a click. Tick tock, tick tock. This is when I could really use a color commentator. You could commentate on what color the lights are and how pretty they are. Okay, all right, so that one looks better. Let's make sure I got this one right. Edit that. That one's done. Okay. Don't go. Whoops. Do go. Don't go. Do go. Now, one of the things that you can do to manage pedestrian traffic at times is you can make it so that they have to wait longer. I'm trying to make this a little more pedestrian friendly though. We'll see if I get away with it. I am not optimistic because I didn't expect that traffic jam to get quite as extensive as it was. Just by making that slight zoning change, I just made a mistake there. Whoops, too many clicks. There we go. And this is how the game can suck up hours and hours of your life. Just getting these time traffic lights right, I can understand why people like roundabouts. But there are other ways. And we will make this work in just a second. Okay, I think that's right. I'm just going to hope for the best at this point. Come on, guys, let's go. Here we go. Uh-oh, this is bad. Is everybody trying to make left turns and they're getting blocked? Why is that stopped? Or are they trying to make a left turn? That's what it is. Oh, man. Okay, all right. So that's starting to free up a little bit. We've got to make this move. I don't know what to think here. All right, so that's getting all messed up. And I think that's all because this is not moving. All right, so I'm going to do something. I'm going to turn off despawning, and that's going to free things up a little bit so that I get a little get out of jail free. It'll allow my services to go through so I don't end up having to deal with abandoned buildings, which I really don't want to have to deal with right now. We'll let that run. I think that'll clear out if I turn the spawning off for a little while, and then I can go back and figure out what's actually going on. Sometimes the traffic jams are so bad, it's really hard to diagnose until you can get rid of the traffic. And then it's really obvious. You're like, oh, that's what's going on. Now, it might be that we have, oh, man. We might need longer cycles on some of these roads. I don't know what's going on, though. This is so messed up. It also might be because of the left turns. I think it is left turns. All right, let's see here. What can we do about this? Maybe we just wait and it will clear out. It looks like Portland is going to clear, mostly. Boy, I'd really love it if these people weren't turning left instantaneously. I don't know why they are, honestly. What is the deal with that? All right, so that's part of the problem that we can try to solve here. All right, so you got all these people. They come off of Hancock, and then they want to turn left. Now, why are trucks going that way? I thought I banned trucks from that road. Did I not? Oh, I did not. Well, let's ban trucks on this road. Hold down the shift key. And we're going to ban trucks going through this neighborhood. I don't mind them cutting through on some streets. I don't want them cutting through on every street. Parker Street, I don't really want trucks on that street either. Nah, I don't. There's a lot of people on this street. And the bus line, and I don't really want that to be a truck cut through. I want them to use the main roads. So let's see how that goes. I don't always like to do that in an urban area, but sometimes it becomes a necessary evil. Okay, so that seems to have moved my problem over here to Laguna Boulevard, but I have a lot more leeway over here. Okay, so that's starting to convulse a little more instead of just being dead. A dead stop. Roundabouts are better, but they also require moving a whole lot of things. And they're not always better, especially for heavy traffic. This probably wouldn't be heavy traffic if, I don't know, I'm not exactly sure what's causing all the traffic. I know I just put a whole bunch of businesses through here, but most of it was offices. Which, by the way, let's fill in the rest of that, since I've got a few buildings to move in here. I did not expect all this commercial to create such a huge problem. And it might end up with just this part being, oh, hey, you know, why don't I make sure that this intersection flows nicely by changing this up to office as well. Is this getting any better yet? No, it is not. Come on, guys. Well, Portland's moving. That'll help eventually. Okay, I think it is going to get better. All right, we're going to let that go. All right, so how's our unemployment looking? 14%, that's a lot better. Let's see here. What else can we do? Why don't we work on our waterfront a little bit? Let me just take a quick look around town and just see if we've got any other traffic problems a brewing. Nope. Whoops. Looks good. Over here, ELM, we are really low on workers. We need a lot more workers. We have a lot of highly educated workers. Some things that we could do. All right, over here in Escondido, I've got education boost turned on. We're going to change that up and make this schools out. And hopefully that will... Oh, and we're going to turn education boost off. Okay, so education boost is a policy that makes young adults automatically choose education over working. So it increases education budget in that district or across the city if you use it citywide, which I think I have right here. I'm going to turn that off because now it's going to make young adults want to go work at ELM instead of working at some big shot white collar job. And then schools out is going to make it so that they will prefer working over education even more. Apparently, I'm not really sure. I haven't investigated these in great detail to see if they're not mutually exclusive, which is kind of strange. But either way, we're going to go to schools out policy there. Wow, I am not doing good at managing the edge of the map here. So Escondido now is going to still probably have a fair number of people who will work these white-collar jobs here downtown, but there's probably not that many of them. Most of the work is out here at ELM. Paso Laguna. Everything's working out pretty well here. Oh, yeah. I don't think I showed you this yet, but I did move the freight terminal. Cargo terminal's over here. I did not change the name of it. Whoops. Paso Laguna terminal. And I left Paso Laguna station right exactly where it was before. I'm going to make that one not an education boost community too. We're going to make that a schools out community here at Paso Laguna. All right. And I don't know if I made any other changes here. Now, Portland is another community that I think we could try and make that more white collar, blue collar, I should say. And these people will go work and get paid good for it, hopefully. Oh, there we go. Now it's starting to clear. It takes a while. All right, so we're going to definitely try turning off despawning again once this clears out a little better. Like, I don't know if I need more traffic signal coordination, if I need longer cycles. It might be what it is. I might need a longer cycle over here at Hancock. The other thing I could try doing... yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm going to allow trucks back on Parker. Although, maybe that's not such a great idea. Well, let's see. What's going on over here at Bradley? All right, so Bradley, they're all cutting down here. It doesn't look like they're getting too backed up, but it probably is the case. We can handle left turns coming in here. But I don't think that's what the story is here. These are all coming from downtown. Not too many coming from elsewhere. What else is going on here? All right, so what are they doing coming off of Hancock Street? Hard to tell exactly. It looks like this should not be as bad as it is, and I don't exactly understand what's going on. But it is getting better. And it's only in one direction trying to get into the industrial area. So I really don't want to do this, but I think I'm going to. You probably noticed that the cycles were rather short. Okay, now Hancock is cleared out. I don't know, maybe I should just be more patient. It's really hard to say. Let's see what happens in the next life cycle. Oh, yeah, that needs to be longer. All right, so we're going to make this cycle here, whoops, tiny bit longer. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to pause it here. All right, so that's a green. I don't want that to, I don't want to put it at the, I want to add it to the beginning of the cycle. So I'll add 3 seconds more time here. Okay. And let's see how that goes. It's almost doubling the amount of time the Hauk Street has to clear out. I didn't used to have a... Okay, now that's already starting to clear really well. All right, so now let's allow trucks back on those streets and see what happens. See if we end up with another traffic jam or if things work out in the end. A lot of the traffic problems... Oh, and we'll turn despawning off again. No despawning, okay. All right, so now we're going to allow trucks back on... You know, I'm going to allow them on Parker, but not on Sneller. Whoops, I want... There we go, vehicle restrictions. Go away. Go away. There we go. All right. We'll allow trucks down here on Parker. And hopefully that won't be the end of me. A lot of times I'll just restrict trucks through residential neighborhoods in general. Okay, now that's backed up again. What's the deal? I thought that was clearing. It looks like I need to add another... Huh. Well, you know, the other thing too is I already, oh, you know what? Why don't I do that? That alone might make a huge difference. Okay. All right. We're going to widen this now. It's a perfect time for it. I don't know why I didn't think of this earlier. Okay. So this is going to cause problems with my offices that I just built. We'll start down on this end. This is going to attract more of that traffic trying to come through here. All right. So we're going to rezone this. And we'll go with little bits of office. Oh, what is the deal with this? We'll let some of that build back because we do need to have the jobs. Oh, and I need to take that traffic light out of there. Oh, that's the wrong one. Oh, there isn't a traffic light there. Well, that's good. All right, come on. I think I'm going to have to lengthen that cycle just a tad. Yeah, we've got a problem there that doesn't empty out very well. Oh. I have to do something about left turns up here. Well, this would certainly solve a problem. Now, let me go back to TMPE here. I think I'm going to have to just ban left turns here. There are other ways into this neighborhood. We don't have to have that one be the only... Have to have that be the route. And that might actually free things up. I could go with dedicated lanes, but we've got a lot of traffic coming through here. I'm not really sure if that's going to... Well, maybe it would solve the problem. Okay, so that's clearing out better now. and then it gets hung up. Oh no. I hope everybody's still getting this. I don't know if we're getting smooth video or not. Getting an error in the streaming. Okay, so this is working a little better now. All right, so now let me just solve this here, and then we're gonna go check. Oh, I'm sorry to hear you're in the hospital, Aki Immortal. I wonder what happened to you. I'm really glad that you're back. I'm sorry you wound up sick. Okay. I'm getting an error here in my YouTube thing here. So I'm going to kick this into cinematic mode and see if I can figure out what's going on here with this thing. Hopefully we'll get to observe the traffic clearing in that neighborhood. Let's see. Open the widget. Okay, you're getting buffered. All right, so that's a bummer. I don't know if my internet's fading out. Anyway, all right, so let's check out the chat window here. Oh my. Oh. We've got... Oh, wow. That's some serious Cyrillic script going on in here. Oh, hey. How you doing, Nate? Good to see you. Wow, lots of stuff going on here. Always good to have somebody from the other end of Cuyahoga County. Glad to have you, Nate. Oh, wow. Lots of stuff going on. Okay, I saw the monorail stuff. I'm just going to skim through here. Oh, yeah. Thanks so much, Conscript David. I really appreciate it. About the best wishes. Like I said, highways ruin settled communities. Yes, they do. I could give you a whole lot of history on that. Just in my hometown, just in Cleveland, we built a lot of freeways here. Almost built more. I think we're going to cover some of that in the More Money, Less Traffic series. We might cover it in this one too, because, well, all I can say is it used to be when you saw a park, there would be a freeway eventually. That's how it happened in New York City. Robert Moses set the pattern, and well, sadly, a lot of places followed it. Cleveland was among them for sure. Let's see here. Yeah. Highway reclamation projects in the U.S. Yes, lots of those going on. I haven't had a whole lot of those in Ohio, although we have had... You know, they're building a road called the Opportunity Corridor. You could check that out. I think that was originally conceived as a freeway because it was supposed to be the Clark Freeway that was going to go across Cleveland from downtown all the way to the east to the outer belt out there. And they never built that because Cleveland Heights and Shaker Heights said, no, that's not going to happen. They wanted to carve Cleveland Heights up with 3 freeways. It's pretty crazy what they were going to do out there. And Cleveland Heights is actually probably the hip city on the east side of the east suburbs. It's right next to University Circle and all the big museums and everything. It's a great area. If you ever come to Cleveland and there's not a pandemic going on, I would definitely suggest checking it out. Yeah, so... yeah, Boston Commons and Pier 49, and yeah, they were hidden by a highway. That's right. That was and there's still places that are buried under a freeway somewhere or disconnected by one. Yeah, really good stuff going on the last stream. Hey, Kiprioso64, glad to have you here. Nat Ferris, Boston Commons is very silly. I have not been recently. I've never been to Boston. I've seen where the Embarcadero Freeway was. The Embarcadero is way better without the freeway. Yeah, the 50s, 60s, 70s, a lot of the stuff, there were freeway revolts that definitely changed things up in the United States. This city is supposed to be more West Coast. Yeah, thank you, Allende. Yeah, definitely more Southern California than North California, but before the freeways. Before the freeways. Name all your streets after... Ooh. Yeah, I don't think I'll be doing that. No, not Salem, Mass. Yeah. Okay, so Vasilisa. Oh, I don't know what script that is. I thought it was Cyrillic, but maybe it isn't. I was thinking about Washington, D.C., but I'm sure Salem has some weirdness, too. Vasilisa is saying that it's interesting how foreigners build in this game. Sorry for Russian, I don't know English. He gave me permission to translate. Okay, great. Oh, Gabrielle Munez. Hey, man, I just stumbled across your channel yesterday, and I loved your content. I'm just here to show my appreciation. Well, thanks for coming. I'm hoping to have some more money, less traffic. Some more money, less traffic coming to you guys in the next couple weeks. Can you move that tram stop so they don't block the intersection? I don't think that that's probably the issue, but yeah. Okay, so... What is Vasilisa? Oh, Vasilisa. Watching foreign streamers even though she does not understand a word. Oh, well, hopefully you understand streets and stuff. She wants to say that your city is very beautiful. You play very well. Well, thank you. Tell her I said thank you. I don't know how to say that in Russian. I don't really know a whole lot of Russian. I just know how to say "niet." What part of "niet" do you not understand? Oh, cool. Ich habe 3 Jahre in die Hauptschule. Auf Deutsch. Ich spreche ein bisschen Deutsch. I wish I could go to Germany. I would love to. Ich möchte nach Deutschland gehen. And my accent, I'm sure, is terrible. But yeah, I do speak a little German. Not very good. Not very well. Yes. Oh. This is too much suffering for one intersection. It's not one intersection. It's many intersections. That's the thing is, you should see American cities, they have very elaborate time traffic light schemes. I remember being to the Cologne train station saying like, yo, I saw this in Euro Truck Simulator. Yeah, and I'm not going to do tunnels. Not that way anyway. This is why I always hate never build grid cities. Traffic is always nuts. I think traffic is worse if you don't build a grid, but it depends. You'll see some interesting stuff about grids in the next couple episodes of More Money, Less Traffic. Let's see here. Come on. Yeah, I would do dedicated left turns. The tram, John Gonzalo Silva. Why don't you do dedicated left turns? I'm not doing dedicated left turns back there because I'm thinking it's going to take away too much from the streetcars. I can't have streetcars going at the same time as left turns unless I want to be completely unrealistic. So I actually banned left turns, and the left turns probably are hopefully clearing as we speak, I hope. I would really like to go to Hamburg. I have a friend there. Berlin and Munich. I would love to go to Munich too. I'd like to go to Berlin too, but you know, not as much as probably Munich or Hamburg. So do visit Haifa. It was mostly built by Germans, had a Templar quarter too. Wow. Elric, glad to see you. Back when the... Also in Jerusalem. Yeah, I've seen the Franklin series. That's really good. Do Not Eat 01. Definitely check that out if it's interesting, to say the least. And the guy's got a great sense of humor. Several Russian speakers. Well, I'll have to throw that in Google Translate and hope that it can make heads or tails of it for me. It's a city series by Do Not Eat. Yeah. Okay. Whoops. Something happened. Okay, sound and video are good. Sorry I'm late. Hope you had a good Christmas and New Year. Had good times off, but unfortunately, yeah, some things are not going so great in life right now. Hopefully they'll get better. I'll let you know. Anyway, yeah, that's what I think is cool about this. I'm trying to do that here, but more crudely than he does. To build a city at different points in history. He does that with, basically it's Philadelphia. Franklin is very much like Philadelphia, except, smaller because Philadelphia is gigantic compared to how big these city skyline cities can be. All right, so Aki Immortal, Haley, what's up? What is the biggest surprise or largest insight for you within the last couple streams with Puerto del Mar? The biggest insight, wow. I'll think about that one. I'll get back to you. Hope everyone is okay. Yeah, well, that's the problem I got. Somebody very near and dear to me also has COVID, and they're in the hospital. So, Richard, I'm glad you're recovering. Hope that gets better. Well, a lot of Russian going on here. Let's see here. Whoa. I hate how this skips around. I just want to scroll nice and slow. Dutch as well. Oh. Well, that sounds cool. Do you stream on Twitch? No, I do not. So many new players since the Epic Free giveaway. By the way, much appreciate your constructional videos, as it saves a lot on there. And just send people to your YouTube. Yes. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Maybe you are the one responsible for a little burst of my city layout video over the weekend. I hope that continues. I don't know if it is. Yeah, I've always loved to see the cities of the East. She's inviting everyone to her city, which is no worse than most Italian cities. Good sea, good people, good wine, and the tallest mountains in Europe. That sounds fantastic. Which city is that? Conscript, just out of curiosity. I didn't catch that. I might have missed it. Yeah. Everybody stay safe out there. Definitely take this thing seriously. It can put you in the hospital for sure. You're always welcome to visit me in Essen. Hey, that means food. I love any city named food. I live in an apartment with 2 friends. Oh, interesting. I'll keep that in mind. Let's see here. You guys have public transport. Okay, I think I'm finally catching up. Your top chat might be on, but the city is Krasnodar. Okay. All right. Is that on the Black Sea? I can't remember. I know I've seen that in the Railroad Tycoon. One of my favorite scenarios is actually Eastern Europe in the original Railroad Tycoon. Or no, Railroad Tycoon 2. Railroad Tycoon 2, not the original one. If Nate, you're still on there, thanks for turning me on to that game. I haven't played it in a while. All right, so let's get back to the build here. Maybe we can get some waterfront and stuff going here. Oops. Okay. Let's see how our traffic over here is doing, if we're still backed up. Oh, that's what I want to see. Things are moving. I turned despawning back off too, didn't I? Yes. Hey, that's working then. It looks like it is working pretty well. Okay, so it looks like we could probably use another light right there because that's not moving as well as it used to. But everything else is looking really fantastic. I can't complain. Sometimes it just takes a little patience. Okay, oh, the other thing I have to do is widen the rest of that road. Let's do that right now. Let's do that part right now. Let me do some zone reworking here. That's going to be a big one. Okay, that worked out nicely. And I'm going to take that out. Okay, and I'm going to dezone these in anticipation of the next section. I'll take that out while I'm at it. Yeah, I will definitely say that it is a worthy complaint with city skylines. I would really love it if we could get a more realistic look with some of these building heights. Medium density was such a great idea in Sim City. I miss that. It was a good way to go. All right, so now let's fill the rest of this in. Make that a 3x3. And that should fill in pretty nicely. There we go. Oh, we can go 4 right there. Yeah, we're going to lose one anyway. Okay, so what I'm doing is just in case you missed it, I am zoning these areas with a little bit more granularity because I want to get smaller buildings moving in here instead of ginormous ones. Now, part of my problem here, well, that's actually a good point. Part of my problem here is probably that we do not have a whole lot in the way of residential in this neighborhood. I could probably build some housing in here, and that would make some difference. The traffic noise is going to be high, though. That's the only thing. So if I just, I don't know. I have to think about that one. I'm not going to jump on that right away. But I think that might be a good idea. All right. So now, whoops. Nope, not that far. Okay, let's check our lane arrows out here. I would like it if this would work the way I want it to. I don't know if it's going to. We do have dedicated lefts now. Oh, we don't have dedicated lefts, my bad. Yeah, it looks like that is not completely ideal. I don't have that on a very long cycle. Oh, I do want a dedicated left right there, though. I can't remember how I set this part of the traffic light up. So let's check it out. Okay, it looks like it's just a straight up go. I can't tell if I ever gave that. No, I didn't. Okay. So it's sort of a free-for-all. Oh, I do need a dedicated right turn lane there. Okay. All right. We'll go with dedicated right. I don't think there's going to... Well, it looks like there are a lot of right turns there. So let's do a dedicated left right there. Maybe that'll help. New academic here. You might have to deal with some of the timing on this. Yeah, I think we're going to have to add a protected left turn. Either that or ban left turns altogether. Which I don't really know if I want to do that. Kind of think I don't. All right, let's add in that's a real mess. We definitely we have a lot more traffic going through here now. Oh, I don't know about that either. Yeah, let's do that. And we will set this up. All right, so we don't allow lefts here, which certainly makes things work better. That is a dedicated left right there, if I remember right. It might. Yeah, okay, good. That didn't change. And that doesn't do lefts. Okay, so that's great. Oh, hey, that seems to have cleared now. So maybe just having that third lane will be enough. Although, maybe not. Because it is backing up over here. It usually clears. Yeah, it'll clear. It'll be all right. I think it'll be okay. I think we'll be all right. All right, so let's move on to the waterfront. We'll come back to this later, and I might tweak it a little bit off camera. But this is mostly working. It looks like through here is certainly a trouble spot. I'm not really sure why. I'd have to sit there and watch it for a little while. And that's honestly, that's my best troubleshooting tool is just watching with my eyes and doing. Yeah. So what I might need to do here, and this is a very likely scenario, and I'll probably do this all off camera so I don't keep you guys hung up on the stream here. It looks like this is going to clear, but this here could have a traffic light too. So what we would do is right here, these traffic lights, let me get that out of the way here. So these traffic lights over here, when the lefts go, then over here would have a light turn green and let those go just in time to make it over here. And for the most part, it would at least control things a little bit. It would make it so there weren't stops all the time. I think things just look bad in that neighborhood. I don't think that they're really quite as bad as it looks. I'm a lot more tolerant of heavy traffic than I think a lot of players would be. I would like to see this work a little better. I almost feel like I should ban left turns coming out of there to get on Parker Street. Yeah, I kind of think I should do that. Because if you're going to go to the trouble to go all the way through here near a truck, I don't really want trucks doing that. All right, so I'm going to ban the left turns right there. Yeah. You'll have to turn right now. Sorry. All right, so that's going to make that a little less tempting of a detour. It's probably going to move it all to Sneller Street, but yeah, we'll see. We'll play it by ear and see what we have to do later. That is getting messed up there. So we have a time traffic light going on here. No, just a regular old traffic light. I have a lot of traffic trying to turn left here, and that's probably because I banned left turns going through those neighborhoods, or I banned trucks at least going through there. I did allow them on Parker. And that actually seems to be working out pretty well, although they can't turn left here anymore. So that's probably part of the problem. That seems to be clearing, though. I think it'll be okay. All right, let's go back to the waterfront. Let me check. Yeah, it's not perfect. We'll deal with it later. All right, so the waterfront. Let's do the waterfront. All right, so I built this street here coming off of the end of the south end of Campos del Mar. That is Caballo Boulevard. I believe that is horse in Spanish. And that's because I just felt like, why not? So this is Caballo Harbor. That's where it's heading out. Pescado Harbor, that's Fish Harbor in Spanish. Bosque Harbor, Wood Harbor. So we've got the three harbors over here. And they've got their little names. So I don't have a name for the peninsula yet. We'll come up with one. Maybe it'll be the Fish Peninsula or the Horse Peninsula. Maybe the whole, I don't know. The reason why I came up with it is because that sort of looks like a horse a horse head right there, and that looks like the hoof. So maybe I should call this the Hoof Peninsula, though, the leg. I don't know. Either way, this has got a lot of really flat, gorgeous farmland, and also I think that's ore or oil. I think it's ore. Let's see. Yeah, it's ore. Okay, so we got a lot of ore over here too, and we don't have anything built for ore. I don't know if we're going to mine the ore there or not. Now, another thing I was thinking too for this area is I want to extend this rail line. I want it to go around and through that valley and over through, you know, this lagoon here, that inlet, that cove, whatever you want to call it. And off to the north, that's going to be another main line. But I also want to have that line come down through here and cut across that edge of town, go through the mountain, and pop out over here on the other side. Before I do that, though, I really need to develop some of this area over here. So I'm going to just work out some of the details here. I'll get the 2-lane paved road tool out here. All right, so these are full-size streets going through here, and I want that to be a main boulevard, and I'm going to have that be, you know, waterfront park. I haven't decided if I want that to all be parkland up there yet. So right now, we need to sort of merge this in with what we've got going on over here. And do it in a way that allows another road to come off over here, because eventually I want this Bosque Avenue right here. I'm planning for that to continue west. It's going to be a messy setup right now, and it's probably not going to be called Bosque Avenue over there, although maybe it will be. I don't know. I haven't decided that either. But I want to extend that neighborhood over here to the west and work my way up to the hill. So we're going to do that right now. So first off, let's figure out where we're going to branch off this road and what kind of angle we're going to look for here. So I'm thinking, well, let's turn off the bending. I'm thinking that we're going to want sort of a steep angle here. Maybe we just build a triangle here. I think that would do quite nicely. Yeah, and I think it actually lines up pretty well with the grid too, as it is. So let's see here, right there, yeah. So that's 22 units away. That's a little bit longer. It's only 2 units longer than the block that block size I already have. I will take this down 24 units there. Turn on anarchy so it'll let me build that. All right, so yeah, that should do. And I don't think I have any weird. It's close enough that it doesn't get weird on me. All right, so now since I've already got this built up pretty well, I'm just going to make this a boulevard right from the get-go. Since this is coming along later in the city's life. Now, for right here, I need another way to get traffic onto this boulevard. So what I'll do, yeah, because this is going to be another boulevard right here. We're just going to make it, ooh, that's not looking right at all. Huh, interesting. I must have an error in the way I've built this. Huh. Maybe not. I don't know what I did here. see if I can connect that. Oh, you know what it is? I know what it is. It doesn't like that this segment... Yeah, now it works. Okay, so that segment was just longer than 12 units or 13 units. You know, it was longer than 12. And so it wanted to put that segment right there, and that's what messed me up. Okay, so that's why. That explains it. Okay, so now some of these streets are going to want to come through and cut along into that area. So let's make sure that that can happen in a somewhat orderly fashion. We'll go 10 units here. All right, so we got 5. Turn off the angle. I thought I turned the angle off. I did not. Okay. So that will allow for a slightly more orderly exit through there, and hopefully it won't be too close together when the time comes. Okay, so now, getting to thinking again here. Okay, so let's do this a little differently here. I got another idea. All right, so if we start up here, turn my angle, whoops, angle back on. All right, so let's try to go 12 units from here. Okay. And for right now, that'll be where they end of the boulevard. We'll end the boulevard right there for the moment. Let me make that just 1 unit longer. I did 20, we'll make that 11. And then I've got a nice even... Well, let's use precision engineering. If I hold down the Alt key, with that, well, that doesn't seem to want to help me anymore. Well, maybe we'll stick with 10. All right, that's done. Okay, so now we have this street that comes up, and let's connect this. Turn off angle. Turn it back on here. All right, so now the trick is, I think the best move here. Yeah, let's do that. Go out 9 and then cut it back. Cut that back 4 units. That should be 4. Turn on anarchy. There. That actually looks pretty good. Now I have to figure out what to do right here. I can't really do that, but I could probably connect it right there. And that's going to give me a fun intersection, but I will just ban turns or something. I don't know. It's a good way to deal. Five units there. Turn off my angle. There we go. Should have a nice 90-degree, 180-degree meet there. Okay, so that looks good. I'd say that's a pretty good start right there. All right, so let's continue with this. All right, so the next thing I'm not sure of is where is this road going to go? So we're just going to leave it. We're just going to end it right over here in this neighborhood, but we're going to finish that out, building up to the edge of this mountain here. It is sort of steep. I think we might be able to get some of this to work for us, though. All right, so I'm going to do another. Yeah, okay. That's a guide road right there. It's not going to work as well as I'd hoped. All right, let's just do this the other way I thought of here. So bring it up here. Hey, now that looks good. I think it looks good. How about this? Nope, that's too far. No, maybe 12 would actually do a better job. Here we go. There, that looks even better than what I had originally thought. Okay, great. All right, so now we can fill this neighborhood in. Let's see. I don't think we need this jobby here. Let's move him. Let's move him over there. I kind of like to have those at the corners because they spread a little further, but I'm not going to sweat that at the moment. Okay, so... Oh, yeah, that's right. You know, I'm going to leave this all as park, so we're not going to zone any of that. In which case, yeah, okay, that's good. All right, I like that plan. Okay, so now let's stick with the high density thing here and zone some high density residential through here. Except for not on the boulevard. Put an office here. And we'll just put offices there too. This is going to be a pretty heavily traveled corridor at some point, I think. Because it's going to be the only way to get across the mountains. I don't know. We'll go with low density in the rest of this for now and come back to it later. That's one of my favorite ways of handling things. Because if you go with high density right out of the gate, you're inviting yourself to have a lot of traffic problems that you can't really predict as well as you'd like. Especially when you're using vanilla population. Then it ends up being a little easier. Oh, I have to get water. Vanilla population, instead of using like a realistic population and consumption, it is a little bit less of a jump to go to high density, but it can still be a jump. So, caveat emptor. All right, I'm going to actually go back to... That's not filling in right now, so I'm going to go with that for the moment. I need to get a water line running through here. And it's really hard to do that when I have a 4-lane road and I can't snap to the grid. And since I'm a bit of a perfectionist, I don't even like it when those water pipes line up funny like they were just now. Okay, so... Oh, I did it again. What am I going to do? All right. And I need to run it. That's a little... Yeah, that'll be all right. Okay. And then I need to run it along this street, too. Okay. Oops. Okay. That should water that neighborhood adequately. Let me go back to the boulevard. It'll save me some fuss later when I don't have to widen this again. I could get an office right there. Now, one thing that if you're familiar at all with Los Angeles, for example, I don't know much about San Diego. I've never been there particularly yet, so I can't speak much to San Diego as far as West Coast cities go. But I have been to Portland and Seattle, and they have a very different character, especially from Southern California. They're not exactly like San Francisco either, but they're more similar to San Francisco for sure, especially as far as density goes. But Los Angeles is actually a very dense community, and one of the things you'll notice about Los Angeles is that while you can see downtown from the ocean maybe a bit, if it's a clear day, you don't have any ocean anywhere near Los Angeles. It's actually probably a good 10 miles inland. So while it is considered a coastal city, it does not have a coast. I mean, as far as coast goes, you're going to see a lot more waterfront in places like Cleveland or Chicago than, even though they're on the Great Lakes and not on an ocean, than you are in some place like Los Angeles, unless you're out by Santa Monica or LAX or something like that, or Long Beach. So anyway, just an interesting aside. So Puerto del Mar is actually more of a port city than Los Angeles is, at least from the look. But don't be fooled. The port there is very large. Probably one of the largest in the world, or at least the largest in the U.S. Largest in North America, probably, if you combine it with Los Angeles and Long Beach. Okay, so got a little bit of waterfront going on there. So what else can we do? Let's see here. What's our unemployment look like? It looks like we could use more employment. Let's see if we can get some fishing industry going on out here by working on this road. Let's see. Let's widen this up to a boulevard all the way around this mountain. That'll be a nice fancy way to enter into this area over here. And what's kind of wild is you'll still be able to see downtown from there. Whoops. But it'll be obscured big time if you're at ground level. So you really won't get to see it until you get out here. So that's kind of a cool thing. So what can we do? I love to make the sight lines fun. And that's what we're going to do. So let's see. I'm going to go to a cheap road here and see what we have. All right, so the main thing I want to consider doing is I want to sort of be able to fan out from here, and having a main road running right through it is going to definitely make a difference. But we've got a little terrain going on there. Okay, so that's kind of cool too. Yeah, I think honestly I need to bank a little bit around. So if I go 180 degrees right here, I'm going to run, there we go, run right into the foot of this hill. That's a little steep and not something I really want to do. So if I stay at 180 degrees here, I could just wind my way down here. And yeah, I think that's what I'll do. Okay, so first off, let's see. All right, let's go down about... Yeah, let's do like 60 units right there. That's probably a little further than I want to go. So we'll do 48. And I want to make sure, oh, I don't want straight slope on right now. I want this to fit the terrain. Okay, so I'm actually going up a little bit from the looks of things here. Interesting. And then I'm going to go over the hill. So that's fun. All right, so what if I built this? Yeah, it looks like I'm going to end up with an angle here no matter what. What if I do 30 and 30? Yeah. I like that. All right, so let's see what kind of road we wound up with here. It looks like it straight sloped me. No, it didn't. Okay. All right, so we go up a tiny hill right there. That's not too steep. And we come down right over here. That's pretty cool. And now I want to... I'm going to follow the contour. If you've seen my first video on the latest More Money, Less Traffic series on city layout, it says city layout on it if you're looking for it. Check that out because one of the things I say in there, and this is a really good city to see how to do this, is let the terrain be your guide. So that's what I'm trying to do right now. I'm just trying to work my way around the hills and everything as if I had to walk this or take a wagon that was, you know, I don't know. Either way, the bottom line is, okay, let's see if I can do. The bottom line is I want to have this have, you know, fairly realistic grades and make the hills sort of force my streets to go in particular directions. All right, so now if I follow that, where does that get me? Okay, so that looks like a good place for a junction out there. I think I'm gonna actually run this more straight out here though. Whoops, I want 20. All right, so I think I want about 137. Let's go with 136 or something here. So we'll go 20 units and 136, 135. Yeah, let's try 135 and see what we get. Yeah, that's about what I wanted. Okay, so we may or may not keep it exactly like that, but I think that'll be kind of cool. We can maybe even have another center of town or something over there. I don't know. All right, so now let's find a place to put our fishing industry. That's going to want to be somewhere in Fish Harbor. So let's see here. How big are these buildings for the fishing industry? Go to our industry buildings. Go for the fish. All right. So that's not too crazy big. All right. And I'm going to want to process this somewhere close by. It looks like that should be pretty easy to pull off. Because I definitely don't want to have a fish factory. You know, I don't want to have big trucks pulling this through. And honestly, I have not messed with the fishing industry a whole lot to really know how all this is going to work out. So it's going to be fun to experiment with this. I don't see anybody complaining about anything over here, though. So traffic is working really well. And I didn't use any roundabouts. So it can be done, especially with TMPE. All right, so let's see. I think we should definitely build them right here. All right, so how do we want this to branch off of our boulevard right here? I think if we had a road coming off at about a 45-degree angle, that would be nice, wouldn't it? Yeah, that looks real good. And then I'm probably going to need another road. Looks like I need to be about here. It's kind of far. Okay, that looks good. Okay, so we'll take that out 48 units. All right, so let's not do a 45-degree angle there. That looks good. All right. And then we'll build our boulevard up here. Oh, you know what? Before I get too crazy with that, I gotta build a water line, don't I? Let me get that under the road first. And we'll just do it all right here. Okay. Now I can go back to that being a boulevard. And we'll have to run electricity out here too. That's not the right road. Turn off anarchy. Turn anarchy back on. Okay. All right, so we need to get we have all sorts of different fish types out here. So we've got at least 3 kinds just in Fish Harbor right here. It's just really perfect. So what kinds of, all right, seaweed farm. I don't even know what any of these are. So fishing harbor, low capacity fishing boats, all types of fish, anchovy fishing harbor, salmon fishing harbor, shellfish fishing harbor. So we got anchovies, salmon, and shellfish through here. So let's just build with the general one right here, right now. So I'll extend this street. Might have to get rid of that diagonal road. Unless I can get this. Yes. That's what I want. Oh, don't even tell me. It moves every time I go to click. I'm not going to demolish it this time. Well, looks like I might as well have demolished it. There. Now that worked that time. Okay, good. Yes. Magnificent. Okay. Get a water line down here. I don't know why we need water. I mean, it's fish. Okay. And I need to build a route, if I remember correctly. All right, almost got it all the way around here. Well, I hope that's right. Looks good. Okay. I need to get electricity over here now. How steep is that? Now, it looks like we could build some stuff on that, so let's do that. Let's just get some housing going on here. Maybe that'll look kind of nice. You know what? I want it to be bigger than that. Almost makes me think a little bit about Malibu. With all the housing right next to the road and the ocean. All right, so now let's, I think I need to get, all right, there we go. We got water there. All right, so we have water. We're working on electricity as we speak. And I need to get a fish factory going in here. Build that right across the street. And see how that works out. We also have a fish market. Okay, so it brings in fresh fish from harbors and farms and sells it directly to a customer without. Okay, so that's kind of cool. Not sure if we want a seaweed farm or an algae farm just yet, or a fish farm. probably build the specialized harbors eventually, but let's build a fish market. Now, where would we want to have a fish market? I think that we should have it downtown. The question is where? Well, maybe that'll be a fun way to attract people down here. I feel like we definitely should have it on the waterfront. Let's see if we could. Yeah, that's a good place for it right there. Build it right there on the waterfront. Now all we need is to get some houses down here. And I could probably sculpt that to make it look a little better. Come on, boys, move in. All right, so what are we looking at unemployment-wise? Okay, so we need more employment. Where can we do some of that? Why don't we change up this neighborhood a little bit here? I think we could definitely go with some more office down here. So we're going to zone in the small chunks like we've been doing. I'm not going to go too crazy getting close to the railroad there because I think I'm going to need to have more tracks running through there. So these waste facilities are probably going to need to move at some point. Oh, I don't know how I did that. Oh well. Okay, so that will help. And let's see what other places would it make sense to have. Okay, I think around the hospital we should definitely have some more office buildings. Doctors got to have offices, right? Make sure they don't get too big. Some of them I don't mind if they get big. And I'm going to put some high density residential in here just for kicks and giggles. And we'll build some offices over here too. It'll give these people somewhere to work. Where else would it make sense to put offices? Ah, yes, that's right. We have these neighborhoods over here. Okay, so let's think here. I'd like to densify somewhere around Benito Park. That would look pretty cool. I'd like to have more offices through here too. Now, where is our tram stop? Right there. And right there. Okay. So let's change these over here by the cemetery and make that office. And we'll upgrade these to high density residential. Great. They're filling in right away, pretty much. We'll build a slightly larger tower right, office building right there. Put a couple larger I don't want to do it like that. Not yet. Oh, wow, that was fast. Okay. Give everybody a park view here. And we probably have enough students we could start building a liberal arts college or a university at some point. Let's empty that out. That one's building. Alright, so that definitely changed that neighborhood up a bit. Our cemeteries are empty, so we might as well let them fill up again. Traffic is thick on Portland Boulevard. But it is clearing most of the time. Now, another thing we could probably do to thin out traffic a little bit over here is take out some of the industry and replace it with office. I sort of like that idea. Oh, we already did that. Might do some more of it. Another thing we could do is we could add some commercial through here. It's going to add a lot more traffic on Portland Boulevard. Oh, no. Well, our auditorium burned down. Let's rebuild that. That's all thanks to the Natural Disasters DLC. That's probably the most useful thing I found of it. I'm really not a big disasters person. But this disaster response unit will actually go through and find something that's burned down and make it so you can just click rebuild, which is great. It saves a lot of messing around. Let's see if we've got... Okay, good. Oh. No fish. Yeah, we probably need more. Oh. Yeah. Okay, so we probably need to get more fish going on in here. That's fun. We're not loading it up very fast, though, are we? All right, so let's build some specialized fish facilities here. Maybe we can get some more going. All right, so we got a tuna. Well, yeah, that's going to be a tough one. Let's build the tuna one since we're not getting tuna right now. Connect that up. We'll just do the easy way right now. Make sure we have water. That should do the trick there. Okay, good. All right. We don't have electricity because we're just a little too far, aren't we? Okay. Now let's build a route out to the tuna. Okay, so we want tuna. Where do we find tuna? Oh, wow. Way over there. All right, so let's get to building that. This is going to be fun because we have to cross. Those boats will have to cross the shipping lane. Oh, wait, you know what? We'll go around the polluted part. I don't want them finding any three-eyed fish. All right. So now we've got a route to get some fish going on over there. Excuse me. Well, we're getting some fish, just not enough. And if I had to guess, these are probably not the best jobs. Oh, they're not too bad. Not enough fish. All right, we got a tuna harbor. Well, that's quite a big tower right there. A little bigger than I would have liked, but we got a lot of big towers going in over here. Okay, so how's our unemployment now? 12%, still really high. So let's buffer some of these commercial areas here. Oh, looks like I have a gap right there I could fill in. All right, so let's make this all office. And we'll do the same thing over here. Well, looks like it's too late. Now the other thing we could do is probably build some stuff through here. I've been debating about what I want to do with this for quite a long time. I want that to be a park. I think that's going to be a park too. So, yeah, let's just go ahead and build a park. Let me zone a few more offices in here somewhere. Like right over here would be good. I really think it would be cool to have some high-rises all through here around Bonita Park. Put some offices over here on this side. And sometimes doing stuff like this will actually improve your traffic too, because it puts more work in the neighborhoods and then they don't have to go as far. Okay, that's built in there. Okay. And let's go to the west and change some of this up to office as well. I'm just going to go through and I think I'm going to stop right there. And we'll see how that shakes out. As that grows up, we will get more jobs out of it. Okay, cool. The tuna. The tuna boats are coming in. Now, another thing we probably want to do out here is get a garbage facility here. Garbage, garbage. Here we go. Let's build another waste transfer facility out here in this neck of the woods. Let's build a road right off of here somewhere. Okay. So what's the story on the fish factory? Do we have pollution from that? Yeah, we do. And the harbors. Little noise pollution. That's good. Okay. But it looks like we do get some pollution. Yeah. Okay. So we'll build this transfer station right here. And hopefully that won't be too long of a trip. I guess we'll find out. Now let's make sure I set up the traffic lights through here. I did not turn off all the traffic lights that probably popped up. And that's going to be a problem. All right, now let's set up my priority. Actually, let's go to our routes. Go all the way to the end. Set up stop signs along the whole route. And I think I'm going to need a traffic light here now. Since this all comes in at a 90-degree angles, this should function fairly efficiently. I guess we'll see. At some point, we'll need to run some sort of transit down through there. And so we might end up with a second tram line that runs along Broadway in Campos del Mar. Or we could, I don't know, there's a whole slew of different ways we could handle this. The other thing we could do is run a tram line out to the east here. So let's see how that works out. Oh, maybe get some water down there to that transfer station. There we go. Not enough buyers for fish. Okay. Looks like it's just a long trip. Okay, so one of the things we might have to do is build a warehouse. Yeah, let's do that. I think we can build a warehouse for fish. Whoops. Fish? No. Maybe we can't build. I can't do that. Well, I do need one for unique factory products. I need to put that somewhere over here. Oh, that's not good. Looks like we have a problem, Houston. What is going on? Well then. Well, looks like I'm going to have to fuss with this at some point. I didn't think this is going to create so much a problem building all this over here. And I have to really spend some time studying this to figure out why this happens periodically. It looks like it's probably going to clear. It looks like it's starting to clear now, although this is getting kind of bad. I was not expecting, I don't know why I didn't expect this, but I really didn't expect everybody to want to come this way. So let's see if we can diagnose why this is happening. Where are all these people going? Okay, so we have trucks that are coming down Bosque Avenue. That's probably part of the problem. So yeah, we're going to need rail out here a lot sooner than I thought. Just to get the fish out of here. I'm not sure how many trucks we're talking, but it won't take that many to really slow that down. And that's going to the port. Yeah, so I really probably don't even need rail. I just need a port. A second port out here would probably be ideal. So let's see what for time. Okay, so I think I'm going to end the stream a little early today in general, but we definitely have to sort out some of these traffic problems, and some of them aren't going to be as easy to solve as others, but yeah, I may have to tinker with that traffic light a little bit to get some of this to move a little more freely. I think most of this is actually just looks worse than it is, except that over there, it bothers me. I don't know what's going on there. I don't know where all those people are trying to go and why they're just choosing that particular way to get there. So I have to diagnose that. Otherwise, we have pretty good traffic flow across most of our industrial area. We're having a little trouble getting enough paper coming out of Escondido. And some of that is probably because we have not been able to get this to level up. Now, we do have a lot more workers out here now, and that's probably because we've lowered unemployment and changed some of our policies out here as far as education goes. We're getting a lot of paper here, but it is definitely having trouble getting out. Now, one thing that might help us get some of that to where it needs to go is if we added another freight terminal. Like this one. Which I think might be a good idea. If we could fit it in here. Now the trouble is we've got a little bit of a valley that this rail line runs through, but I don't think that's too bad. We could probably repurpose some of this land in here to build another siding and get a rail terminal through here. The other thing we could do is extend this road so it meets, which might be a good idea too. I sort of like that plan at the moment. It would eliminate some of the turning going on over here. It would also make it a little easier to get freight out of the city that way, and take some of the trucks off of Laguna Boulevard, which for all I know is part of the reason why we have so many traffic problems over here. I really don't know 100%. I don't think that's the way a lot of the trucks are going. Let's turn off private vehicles, public transport, city service vehicles. Okay, so no. The only reason why we're getting trucks going through there is because they're trying to get over here to our fish from the looks. Most of the trucks coming through the Mission District and Portland are headed out to La Colina or over to downtown. We don't have the best connectivity getting over there. We don't really have a lot going through here. And I'm almost feeling like that's a blessing at this point, just because this area is sort of the center of the universe here. We do have a lot of trucks going down Market, but we've got a lot of commercial too. We're definitely getting more activity going down Bosque Avenue though. And that's not really a huge amount of volume though. So I would say that this is more trouble than anything. It's trying to get everybody through here. And that's probably, well, you know, that intersection doesn't look too bad. And this over here is cleared out. So I don't know. It just seems to come and go. I don't even have, I swear I'm not running the real-time mod. Real-time would probably bring this thing to its knees. Yeah, that over there is definitely a problem. And I think one of the ways we can solve it is just attract more people, more Sims to use this boulevard here. And this is going to help us bring more jobs too. Let me de-zone this. Well, not all of it. Because I'm going to zone this commercial, so it'll be another commercial area, and maybe it'll attract some of these people to in this area to not go all the way out on this street alone because of the higher speed. Because it's really about speed on these roads. Higher speed roads attract more traffic. That's why when you build a highway, you get a lot more traffic. Whoops, I don't want that to be. Make that residential right there. I'm going to leave that alone. Let me set my lane arrows here. That looks good. That's fine. Okay, good. I've got stop signs there. I need to change that up. All right, so now we've already drawn some of that traffic off of there. I think some of this traffic coming down from the peninsula is probably going to choose to take some of this route. But what I'm going to do to try to make it think something else, oops, I'm going to change the speed limit through here. Oh, that's burning down. All right, so let's make this a 50-mile-an-hour road, 50 kilometer per hour road up to Avenida Peninsula. And then we're going to increase the speed here on Avenida Peninsula. And we could probably line this with some commercial too, but I don't want to go the whole way. All right, so now it starts to get a little more residential through there, but basically, yeah, I don't want it to be fast right there. But I want it to start from Crane Street, you know, where we have the birds, crane, heron, tattler, tern. We want them to try to prefer Avenida Peninsula, whoops, and then Hancock Street to get out of that neighborhood. I don't know if that's working very well after all. Ooh. What in the world? Okay, so this truck traffic is really causing some problems. Wow, this is worse. So we'll definitely be working on this next time because this is going to take some time to sort out. I like to make things hard on myself. I think I might have overachieved in this time because I really don't know if I'm going to be able to draw all that traffic out of there so that it doesn't back up. Now everybody seems to want to turn or go. What are they doing here? Are they turn left? That has to be a left turn lane. Oh, that's not good. I probably need 2 left turn lanes. I probably need to make it so that I have protected left turns there. Well, you know what? I'm going to work on that real fast then here. And we'll see if that makes any difference. I'm going to pause it. I don't want it to get any worse. All right, so where's our... Okay. So we got a second, 3 seconds. Oh, wow, that's a short light. Okay, so... I want that to be able to get out of there and clear. So why don't we make that hang on a little longer? Oh wait, that is already on. Okay, I don't want to take from that. All right, so I don't want to shorten the left turns there, but I probably, let's see. I will nix this. We're going to do protected left turns right there. Okay. And then the other thing I'm going to do, since we don't have a lot of straight through traffic, I'm just going to repurpose the lanes I've got. Make rights and straights share and make 2 left turn lanes right there because I really want to get more throughput through that intersection. And I'm hoping that will help without messing things up even more. I might have to adjust Sneller here to make sure that's not backed up. And it is. Okay. This is probably part of the reason why that's not clearing. All right, so let me fix that. All right, where's my protected left? When is that street green? Oh, man. It needs a lot of time, too. Okay. I need that to be green sooner. A little sooner than that. All right. How soon does that turn? Right there. All right, so let's turn that green. Did I do that right? Yeah, okay, that's good. And then... All right, so we're going to change this cycle. Red there sooner. That will be red. All right. That might... Oh, I just realized one other thing. I have to fix these pedestrian signals. Okay, that's good. That's good. That's bad. That's bad. We don't want people crossing in front of traffic. Doesn't help anybody. Let me do the same right here. Okay, I didn't change that, so hopefully that's working right then. All right, so that's working a little better. I'm only using one of the left turn lanes, which is really frustrating. But it does seem to be clearing a little better. And without affecting these negatively. Why are there trucks on that street? Oh, those are garbage trucks. Bummer. Okay, that seems to be working more effectively than it was. Market's certainly a problem. Oh, and that's because I have a light in there that is not synchronized with the rest of the system, probably. Yeah, that's probably what that is. So I might need to do a quadrant intersection here too. That's going to be complicated with all this gridlock here, but the other thing I could do is I could probably ban turns altogether right there. Ban lefts anyway. It's not ideal for this leg. I should at least ban them in. I don't know. I'll have to play around with this off camera. But that seems to have helped just make that intersection a little more efficient. It's still backed up too long there because it's just not clearing. So we're probably going to have to do some more drastic, take some more drastic measures. One of the things that I don't think that would be a solution here that would really help a whole lot. I mean, it could be done. But this is really heavy traffic. Roundabouts aren't really great at heavy traffic. And some of this it seems to clear and then it gets stuck again. I wish it would just use both left turn lanes. That would be really great. Because right now it seems like I'm wasting a lane having two left turns right there. And everybody is trying to merge into traffic. Too many merge points going on here. I don't know why they're not turning into the lane that they should be in the first place. Let's see if we can remedy that by forcing these guys to stay in their lane. Did that over here on the other side. Let's see if it makes a difference. All right, so that's starting to clear a little. Market seems to have caught up. So maybe a lot of that was probably a cascade. Yeah. So it's working. It's not beautiful, but it is kind of beautiful. I like timed traffic lights. But it isn't working as well as I wish it was. Our trams aren't getting hung up, though. That's what's more important to me than anything. But we definitely want our trucks to be able to get through. Excuse me. So a big problem that I think I'm seeing here is that we don't have a good way of getting freight up further up here. And there's got to be a better way to handle it. But I'm sort of cut off because I've got Pack Tech right there. And I don't have an alternate route to push up into La Colina because the universities sort of landlocked me. And I can't think of any other alternate routes that don't require going through Pack Tech. and I've got a mountain right here. Not ideal situations for sure. So who knows, maybe just taking out some of the trucks in this neighborhood by removing the industry and moving it elsewhere would help. I could probably put it up there. Then it would have a couple of alternate routes. I could take, Hancock Parkway, go across Technical Drive, and, of course, Market is another option. So there's a few things I have to work out with this, and it's probably just going to require some redevelopment. I really feel like that's probably going to be the key here. Now, one of the other things I want to point out too is it looks like this boulevard is indeed, these busier roads here. I've drawn them off of the waterfront and onto Avenida Peninsula right through the middle here. And I've gotten them onto Hancock Street. I don't know if this is necessary to widen this, but whatever. We've got a lot more trucks going down Bosque and Figueroa, which I sort of anticipated. My idea here is probably going to be to widen Bosque out here to Hancock. And we might even make it so this intersection is a little less of a temptation by modifying that some too. So that we'll have a parkway, and that's just really going to create a lot of really busy intersections. So what I'm probably going to have to do is repurpose some of this, just knock down some of the industrial traffic that's in that area and change it into offices. I think that's my best bet right there. Although it does seem to be working a little better now that I changed that light timing just a tiny bit by allowing this to clear out and by giving some protected left turns there. In fact, I don't even see anything backing up on Hancock Parkway anymore. So who knows? We'll have to watch it and see what happens next. Another thing that we could do is build a rail terminal somewhere. I don't know if that's really going to help or not. What actually might help is if we were able to get rail down from the north. Maybe that's what we should focus on next time, is completing our rail network here, so that we can get rails in. And actually, I might do that off camera because I'm really meticulous about my railroads, and I want to make sure that they're in just the right places. That's going to allow for a lot of expansion in our next episode. So look for that to happen. Probably build the rails in the near future very soon. It looks like our fish industry is pretty happy, though, because, oh, wow, got all sorts of fish now. Wow, we're really full now in most of these. And the fish market is selling fish. A lot of really overqualified people there. Traffic flow is in the 60s. I don't know if you guys have ever seen that. We're down to a 9% in unemployment, which is good. But it's just mainly this neighborhood right here, and it's going to be a lot of the city driving. Highways certainly make it a lot easier to get around town. Oh, what is going on over here? It looks like I probably have a traffic jam on my rails. Whoopee. Let's see here. What is causing this? I think I need to turn off despawning. And that'll probably get that moving again. It does help that I don't have all these crossings like I did before, but it's not helping that much. Maybe that's why the traffic isn't this bad over here. It's because it's not coming down from the mountains. Yeah, so we're going to have to play with this. I'll play with this off camera, and we'll diagnose this. Keep an eye on it and all that fun stuff. I don't know what happened to my rails. Sometimes it seems like they just get confused. They get stuck somewhere, and I don't know why this happens, but it gets stuck, and things gridlock. That looks like it's going to clear out, though, eventually. So I want to clear that off on camera. Let me check the chat room out here and see if I can take a look at this. I I just want to tell you that this is fully expected. I would totally anticipate this if I was looking at somebody else's city. Getting this to move is really critical, and we've been able to do it without doing anything but time traffic lights so far, and in adding a wider road through here, which I fully planned to do in the first place. We're still getting a fair amount of traffic over here, but that seems to be, I don't even know if that's necessarily even shorter, but it's working out. It's clearing out a lot better than it was, because we are moving some of this traffic over here and into the more center roads where we've got buses and everything like that. But I would fully have anticipated, and in fact, I sort of expected that I was going to have design problems like this, because you just end up with layout issues sometimes with your cities. And there's really no way of completely solving the problem in at least in a very easy way. So I might be looking for assets on the workshop that are going to allow me to run trams, but just with more traffic capacity, because we're probably going to need it in order to make this function a lot more smoothly down here. Either that, or we just have to change the zoning up. And honestly, I think that's the plan I like the best. At some point very soon, I think after we get the railroads and some of these neighborhoods laid out here to the west, and maybe build some more little towns out in different places, I think that at that point we'll start detailing. So we're probably a few weeks away from that. And we're going to have another episode here coming up on Monday. So let me check out the chat room. Hopefully I'll be able to get you a new More Money, Less Traffic series going on here too. So let me kick this into cinematic and check out what you got over here. See if there's any interesting things going on in the chat room. Yeah, it is hard to make things look... Do you know Nathan's Sandbox channel? He is doing a challenge where he has to connect all our RICO areas only by public transit or footpaths. How does he do with the trucks? I'm curious about that. I'll look that up and see what he's doing. Because it seems like you have to have trucks, because that's the way they made the game. It's not the way I would have probably made it, but it's, you know, they did so many things with this agent model. It's actually quite incredible that they were able to get as far as they were with this. The link will be up on Discord right after the stream gets done. I'm going to post that. You know what, actually, let me see if I can do that now while I'm running the cinematic and stuff. Oh, I knew that was going to happen. Now I can't find my mouse. Oh, here we go. All right, let's get this Discord going here. Still learning my way around here, so let's see. How on earth do you share? Invite people. There we go. All right, I'm going to paste that into the chat window right here. And you guys will, maybe you guys can help me out with the chat, with the Discord server too, because, you know, I imagine some of you are probably really super excited about this. I am. But it's hard to do the content and manage the Discord. So if any of you know some things about Discord, I am a noob when it comes to Discord. So I just pasted the Discord link into, I think it's the right one. Yeah, it is. Okay, so I just shared a Discord link in there with you. So go ahead and jump in there from the chat, and hopefully you can join me. I'm going to post it in the description on this video and probably all my other videos. It's going to take me some time to get through all of them. So feel free to join in on that and give me any ideas if you've got them as to how we can improve it, because I'm sure there are plenty that you're going to come up with. I've been sitting on this for a couple of weeks and I'm like, I don't know, do I want to do this or not? And then the poll said Discord. I'm like, okay, good. I kind of like that better than Reddit at this point anyway. Although probably a lot of you have probably bumped into me on Reddit. So Conscript, go find that and jump in on Discord. All right, so let's see here. Okay, I remember Krasnodar. Yeah, yes. Spreading left turns around definitely makes a difference as you make the left turn on every other intersection. That's an idea that I usually, employ some variant of that, something very similar. Honestly, I haven't had this challenging of a traffic issue in a long time. Puerto del Mar is definitely giving me some traffic snarls to, deal with that are a lot more difficult than most that I've had. I really hope you get better, Richard. Keep on taking care of yourself. Get your vitamin D, vitamin C, and your zinc. Yes. Communicating in a foreign language is definitely the best way to learn it. Allende had to jump off. Okay, hey, great. Thanks for having you. I hope you'll be able to catch the rest of this. I didn't miss medium density until you brought it up. Now it has eclipsed everything else. Yeah, I know. And you know what? I'm going to show you some things, some fun assets and mods and stuff like that will do that. I don't know. Maybe I'll introduce that sooner as opposed to later, because it is really bugging me that I haven't detailed some of this. And I mean, just when you get this done and detailed, you know what? Why don't we do something different next week? How about if I show you around a couple of my other cities? I'd really like to show you New Springfield. New Springfield is one by far I've spent the most time detailing. We can spend a little time on the stream doing that, and I can show you some of the things that I had to do to make that work. Some of it's really, really retro. It was one of the very first cities I ever built. I decided I was going to try to make it work as best I could, but there's a few things I did with that city that are very interesting, at least in my opinion. And some stuff I don't really necessarily see everywhere. And it also has some very interesting terrain. It's on a very common map, but I think that it would be instructive just to show, some of the ways that I did things. And maybe I'll load some old versions of it so that you can see how bad it was at the beginning, or at least make some videos of it. There's some really cool things in there, like a single point urban interchange that works pretty well. If I pull up an older version, you really see it at work. Although TMPE sort of cheats a little bit, as you might have noticed when I did the continuous flow intersection at the beginning. If you don't get the spacings right on the intersections, then TMPE gets weird about the timed traffic lights. It acts like the traffic lights don't even exist in some cases. So, yeah, it's kind of weird. Yeah, I'm trying to come up with complaints about cities, and I really can't find much to complain about. Lack of medium density, lack of noise pollution options. I would say that the budget isn't as challenging as it could be. I would really like to make that more challenging. It's, not. Might be time to start decentralizing industry, and industry outlets will probably help traffic infrastructure required. Yes. I've started doing that a little bit, but, I probably have more, I don't know. I'm not sure what my economic balance is. I'll take a look at that and give you my opinion on my own city on this. Not a fan of how hard it is to make anything look good if it's not gridded. I'm in some agreement with that. I hate weird gaps that you get. Yes, if you detail it, though, it can look really nice. And that's the other thing I can show you with New Springfield, too, because I've used Find It and Ploppable Rico quite a lot, and Plop the Growables, and a lot of custom assets. It will run a little slower because I purposely didn't run certain mods on Puerto del Mar simply for the fact that it really slows things down pretty quick when the city gets bigger. More ability to customize roads as you need them. I think somebody's working on a mod for that. I don't know how much it's going to help performance, but I'm with you on that concept. I would really like to have some things. One of the things that I see a lot of people complain about is mixed use. I think that's there's a good point with that. I think it would be really great if we could have mixed use be more realistic and just simpler to add. I mean, you can do it. It's just not easy to put commercial and residential on the same lot. The other thing I would say is, I don't know, I would really like it if it was easier to, one of the things I was thinking about, I think about this a lot, is because a lot of times you start out with a city and you have a road that is a certain width and you want to make the road wider. And in real life, a lot of times what'll happen is you'll have a small road, but every once in a while they'll actually lay out in the survey for the city, a wider street. And then one day the city gets bigger and the traffic gets heavier, and so they say, well, it's time to build on that right of way. So they just start, working up to the sidewalk. The sidewalks are, way, way further away. I don't know, 2 or 3 meters, 2 or 3 yards away from the edge of the street, and maybe more than that, maybe on just one side, if they decide they want to build, a road with a median in it. It works really well. It's pretty nice. I wish I could do that. I wish I could have a 2-lane road that actually took up 4 units width and cost the same as a 2-lane road. And then I could have everything just be upgraded. I could add parking, or I could add more lanes, or whatever it is. I think that would be pretty realistic. But yeah, I honestly, there's a lot of things I wish it did, but a lot of it I'm really happy with, because this is such an improvement over anything else. And I also know how hard it is to code and thread a game that has this agent model that has so much going on in it all the time. And it simulates almost every aspect of every citizen. That's pretty hard to do with even modern processing. This game would not have worked 10 years ago, and definitely wouldn't have worked 20 years ago. And that's why SimCity always used a statistical model. It used statistical modeling to figure out where the traffic would be and how heavy it would be. It was not an exact thing like City Skylines is. As far as problems, yeah, you'll find a few things, but honestly, I feel like I'm so appreciative. Nat Ferris says he doesn't have anything to complain about. He's only been playing for a few months. So let's see here. I don't know what's going on in Russian. A lot of conversation in Russian today. I think it's possible if you focus on organic shapes and don't try to recreate basic geometric shapes. Yeah, if you don't go too crazy with the circles. I don't know. I feel like it mostly only hurts you when you try to go high density. I think the high density buildings in the game are really lousy too. I mean, honestly, I think the European ones look better, even on the grid. But I really hate the international set, and I really love like the Brooklyn tile set. So maybe we'll either do that or we'll do New Springfield. Oh, hey, what's going on here? Oh, you know what it is? Must be the end of an academic year. Either that or it's going to crash, which would really stink. Let's see. Yep, academic year report. Well, I guess we're back to that. All right, so I'm asking because I think the more good new CS screamers there are, the number of total viewers gets up, which in turn is good for everyone. Long story short, ever thought about collaborations? Yes, I very much have. And I've talked to 1 or 2 creators about it. So, well, one in particular. I hope that at some point we'll be able to make it work, but a lot of it's scheduling. Just when do we have time? When are we available? And I'll be quite honest with you. The stream is sort of a bonus for me right now. It's not really a monetary bonus, but it's a bonus that I get to be able to play around with a cool city and in front of everybody, because it's not the streams, while they're long, they don't take as long to prepare for or as long to do. So they're a fun way to connect with you guys. I really like that aspect of it. And I can cover some things that I'm not right now covering in More Money, Less Traffic. But at the same time, it's not like this is a super profitable endeavor at the moment. I'm working on some things that might change that down the line. If you guys choose to help support, that would be super cool. But right now, I'm going to do this stream until we get to someplace with Puerto del Mar for sure. So anyway, there's just a few thoughts on that as far as the stream goes. I really like to make the videos. The videos are really cool, and it's a lot of fun to see the finished result and get everybody's reactions and be able to help everybody learn the game better and get more out of it. Take care, Conscript David. Thanks for joining the stream again. I was also playing with the idea, Nat Ferris says, of drawing with my streets. Like in one city, I made the farmland the shape of a giant bow and arrow, and that was shooting a target, and the target was the city. Wow, that's interesting. I finished my question/suggestions. I'm also watching AOE2 channels and Super Mario Maker 2 streamers and collaborations in either game help them to grow in viewers and subs really quickly. Yeah, I think that would be really cool. I would really like to do some collabs, both video and live would be really cool. Let's see here. I think a lot of new streamers underestimate the potential. Yes, well, thanks for bringing that up. Have fun watching the stream. I will try to look tomorrow, going to turn off my laptop now. It's just a bit too much for me to watch the entire stream. Thanks for the great content, Lee. All right, well, thanks for joining up, Richard. I hope you feel better. I so badly want to see 100 viewers or more. Can everyone please leave a like? I really appreciate it, Aki. Doesn't look like we made it today. What is the map of this city? Check out on episode 1. I think it's listed there. I think it's just called Sunset Harbor. It's on the workshop. Yes. Thanks, Elric. You did mention it. Okay, good. I should just read ahead. You guys always answer those easy ones like that. Was that a small or a large capacity facility? Unfortunately, I have to agree with Richard. I am beat, but we'll watch the rest and shorter episodes over the next few days. Have fun, guys, and excited to hear your answers tomorrow. Good night. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll. Might be easier if I wrote about this. Get a chance to get some perspective. Also, I probably have to return some phone calls. My phone's sort of been blowing up here. I hope nothing bad has happened. Fishing quarters in Israel, they tend to be near commercial zones, waterfront tourism, and low-density industrial. Yeah, I sort of was thinking that too. Maybe I picked the wrong place. Maybe Fish Harbor is not the right place to build those. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're probably right about that. I should probably make the fishing lines shorter. Good point. Except for the tuna one. The tuna one probably needs to be that long. Either that or I need to move where the tuna is. Usuario does not like traffic. But I think it's solved. There it goes again. Yeah, that's sort of the way Puerto del Mar is working right now. We'll check it out in a second, and hopefully it'll be better. It looks like it was working well a second ago. You're having problems with fish shortages because your routes are too long. Yes, thanks. I appreciate that. I'll work on that. Looks like I need to roll here soon. So thanks so much for watching. I really love it. Yes, hopefully we'll get 10,000 subs soon. I really appreciate it. If done correctly, one-way roads could help traffic, especially in grid cities like this, very common in the Northeast where cities road widening wasn't feasible. That might be a good option. I think that is something I might be interested in checking that out. Haley, watching your More Money, Less Traffic helped me pick up and start enjoying city skylines after a couple of years away. Just wanted to thank you for all the quality content you've been putting out. Hey, thanks so much, LV100 something. LE100L Atlas. I think that's right. I don't know. Level 100 Atlas. I don't know. Anyway, thanks so much for joining up, you guys. Let's take one last look at the traffic here, and then I gotta bolt. Oh, we're down to 49,000. That's not a good sign. Oh, and I don't have any. That would have been a good idea. Traffic flow seems to be good. We're not backed up over there. We're definitely seeing a lot of traffic coming through, trying to go around downtown. At least it's not going through downtown. That would have been worse. So yeah. All right. So that looks good. So we will conclude, and I'll see you next week. Maybe I'll take a poll or something here, and we can maybe we can find out what you guys want to see next week. So let me know. I'd like to show you New Springfield. I think that would be kind of nice, just to show you what some of the things we do. It's got a lot of highways in it, more than we have in any of the other cities you've probably seen I've made. It's actually the one if you see the intro for the More Money, Less Traffic series, and there's a city flyover of New Springfield, you can get to see little bits and pieces of it. I'll probably try to do some cinematic videos or something of it too. It might be kind of fun. Anyway, yeah, so I'll catch you next week. Enjoy as we head out on the rest of the stream here.